Big in Tokyo, I wanna be big in Tokyo. Big in Tokyo, I wanna be big in Tokyo. Big in Tokyo, I wanna be big in Tokyo. Big in Tokyo, I wanna be big in Tokyo. Drink all the sake I want, read all the manga I want, wear all the bape that I want, buy all the J's that I want, be with any girl that I want, drive any car that I want. I'm always out of the country, I'm sorry if I ain't home. If the money ain't calling, I never answer my phone. You can see the flow in my chakra, all we smoke is homegrown. You know the boy love ramen, probably sipping on miso. I know a spot that has shield, I got a spot that has deals. Wait till I get a kimono, I'ma swag it out in my dojo. Some girls are asking for a photo, I guess this happens in Kyoto. When you young and poppin' in Kyoto, I ball with all of my nakamas, I dance with all of my nakamas, I drink with all of my nakamas, yeah. I only listen to Cole, I touch down with peace. Hiro isekai, shinara irekai. You are my enemy, you are no friend of me. You covered in jealousy, we only drink Hennessy. Big in Tokyo, I wanna be big in Tokyo. Big in Tokyo, I wanna be big in Tokyo. Big in Tokyo, I wanna be big in Tokyo. Big in Tokyo, I wanna be big in Tokyo. When I got money, you know it. When you got money, you blow it. How much you caught me a rollie? I'm living like Zach and Cody. Sweet life from young in the OG. From young, we learned to maneuver. I pick up and skirt in a Uber. I grew up with killers and shooters. No tell, but I think I'm cooler. I used to sleep with a deuce. I'm the moon god, got the juice. You switching sides like the man Bruce. Tight circle, cut the loose ends. Know I can go on vacation. You cannot escape from the matrix. I wrote all this shit in the basement. Art is my new occupation. Let's meet up at Kennedy Station. I've been at studio all day. I'd rather just make it the hard way. Sitting back while I'm looking up. Remember backyards cooking up. I just wanna be big. I wanna be big. Big in Tokyo. I wanna be big in Tokyo. Big in Tokyo. I wanna be big in Tokyo. Big in Tokyo. I wanna be big in Tokyo. Big in Tokyo, I wanna be big in Tokyo. Drink all the sake I want, read all the manga I want, wear all the bape that I want, buy all the J's that I want, be with any girl that I want, drive any car that I want.
The whole time I'm thinking I'm talking.
Drive any car that I want.
How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is well. You want to be small in Tokyo? Why don't you want to be at least medium sized? At least medium sized. Come on now. You don't want to be at least medium sized in Tokyo, bro? Come on, blood. There you go. Gigantamax. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to tinkle and then I'm ready.
It's going to be lonely not being able to see you anymore. It's been great hanging out with you.
Why she run from me? Now you want to come back and now you love on me. But I'm confused why you think you deserve some trust from me. And your heart is painted black. Girl, it's ugly. Fuck your company. Why she run from me? Now you want to come back and now you love on me. But I'm confused why you think you deserve some trust from me. And your heart is painted black. Girl, it's ugly. Fuck your company. And I remember the first time you had me in your hold. Now you corrupted the safe. I don't never know. Yeah, missing that is darkness. Watch all the friends turn to foes. Yeah, trying to troubleshoot me, but I cannot be screwed. Trying to sell me a dream, trying to sell me a home. While you tell me a lie, do you think I'm a joke? Swear I'm not a bad guy, but this path my only road. Never been hate in my heart, but you burned it in my soul. Can I control myself and I begin to tell the cards
This is ugly. I don't know why that's there. Let me put this up because we're gonna be talking about news today. Ay ay ay. Oh yeah, I seen that. That's what I forgot about the Elon thing. He got twins. Elon Musk twins. But yeah, we gonna talk about some things. Gonna be a boring stream, guys. I doom scrolled a lot today, so I got a lot to say. I'll start on this screen for a second, and we'll come back here in a second. Chill here for a sec. But yeah. Been a weird day for me. I was looking at some new stuff and just trying to gather some topics because I'm finally gonna be updating the other channel again. I'm thinking about repurposing it because honestly, kind of can't rely on Brina right now. So I'm gonna have to just take that channel into my own hand, maybe repurpose it, make it a news thing. But yeah, do I live in the boonies? I don't think so. I want to live someplace with faster internet. I want to be big in Hong Kong. I want to be what's good, and people giving him permission is what it is. Apparently, I mean, yeah, like I'm not mad at that because if they want to give him the box, what am I gonna say? You know, it's her body, her choice. So, anyways, I want to talk about some current events, stuff that happened. I want to talk a little bit. There's actually some stuff I wanted to talk about from before. I don't know if any of my friends are around. I'm gonna message them real quick and see if they're around. They're probably tired of talking about this shit with me because I'd be bothering them. Come join me on stream. If you want. Okay. Send tweet or DM, whatever. All right, let's get it. So, the world's a mess, and one thing I like to always say to people is, your faith in humanity will go up if, like, at least like 8% to some degree. If you kind of just go out there and interact with real people, you'll realize that most people are probably not as crazy and hyper tribalized as a bunch of people on the internet who spend all their time on the internet. Bonjour, mon coeur. What's poppin'? Ape NFT. I've been trying to wrap my head around NFT for at least like 4 months, and I still have no idea what they are and how they work and if they're actually lucrative. It's like crypto. Crypto is one of those things where like I have no idea what I'm looking at. I don't know who to trust, what to trust. So I just look at you when you talk to me about it. I have this one guy who's been trying to talk to me about it for a while, but I'm more of a stocks guy. I've been learning about stocks. That's kind of what I care about right now. But anyways, the reason why a lot of the times I say it's important, NFTs not. You guys gotta be stopped. The reason that I'm always an advocate for people going outside, getting sunlight and touching grass, and just interacting and talking with regular folk and regular people, just because you start to realize that while I do believe that a lot of online stuff starts to bleed more into the real world as the years go on, real life and digital life are not the same. They are separated for the most part. Because the first thing that I actually want to talk about, hit Townsy about crypto. Okay, I bet. I trust Townsy. He wouldn't lie to me. That's my boy. Shout out to Townsy. Oh, by the way, he in the reverie. That's my guy. That's the vibe king. So first thing I want to terminally online is a sickness for real. Yes, you can't stay online all the time. It's not good. And this is coming from somebody. I have a bad habit sometimes of doom scrolling. But when I like go and interact outside with real people, I am usually like, oh, you know what? It's not as bad as it seems and whatnot. So I'm gonna start with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, Casey, that case, because obviously that's a big thing that's been happening, a big talking point around the world. Even though this is specific to the United States of America, for anyone who doesn't know, I am not American. I'm North American, but I'm Canadian. I live in Toronto. So while I see, because America is like the center of the world and then everything is super highlighted on them, I see what happens a lot there, but their politics don't always overlap with ours. But it was overturned and it was a big deal for a lot of people. Don't know where you guys fall on that, if you're pro-choice, pro-life, or I don't know if there's a hybrid, a middle ground there. If you're like just one of those safe, legal, and rare people. Also, a lot of us are men, so maybe we just don't have a say. It's their body, their choice. But then again, depending on who you ask, men can get pregnant. So I don't know what to do with this, but I do think that a lot of people are angry without particularly understanding what's going on. I do see a lot of misunderstood or misguided outrage, and this kind of speaks into the whole discussion that's been going around recently about misinformation and disinformation, and it's very hard to fight nowadays. I don't know how old a lot of you are, and if you used to trust things you used to see on the news. Back in the day, generally speaking, if you saw something on the news, you just be like, oh, where'd you see that? The news, and people will take you at the face value. But as time has gone on, and I'd argue that, what do I want to call them? The powers that be? I don't know, it's lame. But as time has gone on, people have become hyper-polarized and hyper-tribalized. So they kind of isolate you, inject you with an indoctrinated belief and idea, and keep you in that echo chamber, and that's all you know and that's all you believe, and it's getting worse and worse. And I'm not going to pretend that I have never fallen for that. I think I'm very hard to brainwash, indoctrinate, because I'm a skeptic, but I would argue that for a long time I was a cynic. Like, I was cynical. Like, I ain't believe nothing no one really told me. And as a result, you could look me in the face and be like, the grass is green. And I'll be like, word, the grass is green. And you think I'm texting? I'm looking up information to find out if the grass is actually green. It's kind of how I've always been. I don't know why I'm like that. And what makes me sad about some of the stuff about journalism and the media, established media and social media and stuff, it just lies to everybody. It just lies to everybody. I do my best to be as authentic as I can with you. I'm obviously not going to tell you my entire life biography and personal information and stuff like that, but I'm transparent. I tell people all the time, part of the reason I cover Tower of God, even when it's infuriating me to no end, is because I have a monetary incentive to do so. That's what people come to my channel for. I'm not going to lie to you. I need money to live, so I'm gonna do that. Other people will try to trick you, manipulate you into things like that. I spent 3 years not even having a Patreon or anything of the sort because I wanted to earn the right to ask you guys to like help support me. I wanted to earn that, not just make a channel and demand that you give me shit. I didn't do nothing yet. I didn't make content that people enjoy. When I felt like I put enough work in, I started to ask for it. Honestly, my whole body, my choice, in my opinion, doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it's all about money, which is why you don't give them a choice. I think you probably understand the greater issue here, where it's like the reason why sometimes I don't like all the squabbling and petty back and forth that's happening is because I believe there's a common enemy that we all have to face, and by isolating us, hyper-tribaling us, making us radicalized, they profit off of that, and it's kind of annoying, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But shoot, I lost my original train of thought. I was talking about life, talking to people, going outside, yada yada. But yeah, it's hard to fight disinformation nowadays because of people being in their echo chambers. Never knew that about you. I respect the dedication to reaching a status. Yeah, I'm not gonna just that's just not who I am. I worked very hard for everything that I have, and I'm okay with that. It's never been a problem for me. I just like seeing the fruits of my labor. I always like credit for what I do, but I don't know. Maybe it's kind of sort of low self-esteem, and I tend to self-deprecate a lot, but I don't have a inflated sense of self. I don't think that I'm the best person ever. I don't think I'm always right. Most of the time when I'm teasing people and being elitist, if you notice it's usually about dumb shit like video games and manga. That's not serious. That's just art, like, pop culture. If I'm being a pompous asshole because I know Superman comics better than you, who cares? It's not important. But that's usually where I take my arrogance, or like sports or soccer. Like, I'm an arrogant soccer player, yes, because I'm very good at the sport. And I've trained very hard to be good at it. Fighting disinformation for me isn't hard, I think, because of the era I came from. And as a result of that, I think it baffles and confuses me as to how so many other people who grew up, even have like the similar to same education as I am, become what they are today. Back in the day, I used to have to always cite things when we're doing research. You got to use it. I think there's MLA and APA format, if I remember correctly. And you always had, you can never use Wikipedia. Wikipedia was not a source you can use. And you had to have a hard copy, peer-edited reviews, and things of that nature. As a result of that, you kind of learn how to parse through information, get what you need, and use other people's words to strengthen and bolster your argument without stealing it. Plagiarism was something I was scared of my whole life because they're like, yo, it follows you like forever. Like, you could plagiarize and get called for plagiarism in 7th grade and it follows you to college, which is insanity. You're not ready for my fast feed, the greatest goal. Listen, play me in Strikers or something. You don't want the smoke in real life, brother. You don't want it. You're not ready. You don't want this. And I come from a very old school thought of journalism. I kind of grew up on Clark Kent, Lois Lane, Daily Planet. Truth, justice, the American way, and telling people the truth. Like, journalism is about the truth. If you watch Smallville, one of the biggest themes in Smallville is not lying, being truthful, not deceiving other people. I also came from the school of thought of the Daily Bugle and Spider-Man and Joe wow, Triple J, I'm going to struggle to say his name right now, was always just trying to find pictures of Spider-Man and just frame him for any reason. And I said, oh, that's the opposite. That's corrupt journalism. So I always had that in my head. That's why I went to journalism after school and stuff like that, because I wanted to kind of follow in the steps of Clark Kent. MLA format with a .gov source only while researching other authentic leaders. That too. Like, see, you get it. So you had to do that in school and whatnot. But yeah. It's just unfortunate, but what you kind of have to do nowadays is you have to read. If you're seeing something says Nia Hemmings drop kicks friend off the balcony, you gotta read it from multiple sources. All of these articles are politically charged to make money off you and make you believe something. That's the right and that's the left. They're equally as bad on opposite ends of the spectrum. We have somewhat, in the establishment media, social media, and online space, lost the middle, the moderate, the people who are just kind of rational. The reason that I bring that up is because when I speak to most people in general about Roe v. Wade and abortion rights or whatever, they're normal. They're normal. Yes, the fraud. And on the fraud, on Big News Morgan, he be capping. Like Yeah, exactly, Clowns. He's like the original capper for the news, whatever it does to get clicks. And again, sometimes you have a monetary incentive to your shareholders and stuff, but I wish people would realize that, because a lot of people say stuff like eat the rich, tax the rich, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're funding them because you're, anyways, not again to that. But when I talk to people about, like, what do you think about abortion, blah, blah, yada, yada, they're like pretty normal. Like, yeah, I'm pro-choice, safe, legal, and rare. If someone was assaulted, if it's incest involved, or the woman's life is in danger, cool. But other than that, I'm like, and I say, like, what about just using it as a contraceptive? Like, I don't want it, not ready. I've seen women and some people out there with T-shirts saying they had up to like 20 abortions. Like, I've had 20. I think that's evil. That's crazy to me. My stance personally, just to clarify for anyone who doesn't know, I'm pro-choice. I'm actually pro-choice. I'm actually not pro-life. Pro-life arguments really move me more often than not. You'd be surprised when I hear someone talking about it. It actually tends to move me. I still don't go that far, because some of them are like also tie religion in with it, and they're just like, under no circumstance, no matter what happens, you can't get rid of it. And I don't agree with that. I think there's situations that make sense to me. I can't believe Nia Hemmings drop kicked a friend off a balcony. I have to tweet this immediately. There you go. And then the situation goes, and then there might be the right side is like, he didn't drop kick him out, blah, blah, blah. And then the other side will be like, he's the worst person ever. He's Black Hitler. That's how it works. And then people get riled up and charged, and some people have nothing to do with their lives. They're just online all day, and they just want something to do, something to care about, some cause to fight. And then in their self-righteous indignation, they go and attack somebody and ruin their lives without even realizing they're doing that. But if I bring up to somebody some of the democratic talking points that are crazy on the online sphere, where it's like, how do you feel about somebody getting aborting the mission, so let's call it that, up to term 3, the 3rd trimester? How about delivering that child and then putting it in I don't know if it incubated or whatever, and then deciding what to do about that? You see what I'm saying? Like, when I go outside and I'm speaking to regular people, I don't hear craziness. When I told somebody that some people are thinking that, they looked at me like I slapped their mom. Like, no, that's not okay. What's up, Gabe? Black alert? That's crazy. That's not me, man. I'm just saying. But yeah, So just be wary of those things and whatnot. But I'm okay if you're upset about it. Just know what's actually happening. Whenever I hear the argument of pro-life, I just ask them if they're willing to pay for the child, and if they're saying anything except yes, I tell them to donate to an orphanage. Fair. It's just that with me, like I've always seen it as this. I see it similarly to self-defense. I think this is a bad comparison, not a good example, but it's the only thing I can think of on the spot. Someone breaks into your home, Omar, and threatens you and your family, and they have weapons, and during the scuffle or the fight or whatever, you take their life, I believe you were legally justified to do so. By the letter of the law, you did not do anything wrong. You defended your family, and someone lost their life, but you still killed somebody. That is kind of how I think about abortion as well. You have your legal right to terminate it. You don't want it, whatever. I don't care. Whatever your reasoning is, go ahead and do it. I still believe that developing life is life. I don't see I've seen what it really looks like. I've actually, in some ways, gone through the situation myself, and I know it's not just a clump of cells. I don't look at it that way. So I do think it's just legal, justified, I guess, murder, or, well, not legal terms. I'm not a lawyer, but let's get into some of the news. There's two things I'll kind of go through kind of quickly because I don't know too much about it, but so refreshing to hear you. So many people skip rational thought and go straight to emotions and everything. I've actually argued that sometimes with me, and maybe this is not a bad thing. I guess it depends how you look at it. I could be rational to a fault. Like, I'll completely disregard any and all emotion. And there was a couple of situations and scenarios that caused me to really be like, you know what you got to do, Naya? You got to really think before you say stuff and act. I recall a couple of years ago, was it Cam Newton talking on a podium? It might have been Cam Newton or a football player. I don't remember who it was. And he said something like, a reporter had asked him, oh, that's funny, yo. Women don't really know about, like, routes and stuff like that. And everyone on Twitter, let's think about it. Misogynist, sexist, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Later on, they found out that this woman had just a bunch of racist tweets in general. You see that knee-jerk overreaction that people have to certain things? That's just not how I am. I tend to wait, gather as much information as I can, all the different discerning variables, and then I make a decision. I think that's the best way to go about it. Does it make any sense to just read a tweet from a YouTuber you like, and then what is wrong with you? You're a psychotic. You are insane. Whenever I hear, is it because people have protection that could completely slander online, and in person there are more immediate repercussions for your demeanor and the way of the display your position? I agree that a clump of cells is all we are, technically a clump of cells. 100% agree it's the best way. Yeah. So this bozo got locked up, and I'm okay with it. I haven't been following it. I just kind of saw that it was like confirmed, like he's in jail for 30 years. And if a lot of the stuff that I've seen about him for all the years I've been real, and people have been protecting him, this is the good thing. Oh, before I forget about this, I'm black. Hi, I'm a black man. You may have not noticed because I use the light skin filter a lot, but I'm actually blacker than the moonless night. That being said, I do not cry racism often. I really don't. It's just not how I am and not how I'm built. So if you ever hear me say something I think is legitimately racist, like that Thor comic, from my hood for the Juneteenth, you know I mean it. The reason hi lost child. The reason that I say that is because Planned Parenthood is racist. Margaret Sanger was a eugenicist. And when I see people sit like, what is that? What's the white lady who's not funny? The comedian Amy Schumer, and what's the fat girl? Lizzo. Like, be like, yo, donate this much money to Planned Parenthood. I actually get pretty upset because I'm like, bro, she does not like minorities at all. Like, don't donate to Planned Parenthood. They're not the wave. They've even actually admitted that. Like, I think they admitted it on their site one time, and they're like, we want to move on from the legacy of that and be better. I don't mess with them. Asgard is my hood. That Miles comic was wild. It was crazy. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But yeah, he this bozo's locked up, and I'm cool with that. This is the next one, because this one kind of bothers me a little bit from the standpoint that I'm like, I think this is wildly important. And we've seen the Johnny Depp stuff. We've seen like other things, and we've seen none of this case. And I don't know who they're trying to protect, what they're trying to protect, and why it's so hush hush. I don't know if there's some legal reason behind it that I'm unaware of. I don't know if any of you guys are law experts. My law expertise starts and ends with the Ace Attorney games and watching Suits. I know a little bit. I picked some of my friends' some of my friends' brains. I was actually speaking to one of my American lawyer friends, and she was telling me that if you really look at the Roe v. Wade thing being overturned, it wasn't a morality or ethics case. It had to do with just legality and the interpretation of a believed Constitution. But obviously that's not that's not my realm of expertise, so I'm not entirely sure. First thing that I know. The fact that I know who you mean when you say as soon as you say unfunny white girl. yeah, Amy Schumer, she's awful. The Frost Giants also had a nice fade. I was crying. They did. Only benefit to PPIC is providing contraception and affordable testing. Yeah, I hear you. But this case to me was crazy because this was like a global trafficking thing where I think is the other guy's name, her husband or ex-husband who passed away, his name is Jeffrey Epstein, right? I think her name is Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but she even with like a lot of the pictures that I was seeing, like they were all hand drawn, which I thought was interesting. Like, why are they hand drawn? I don't know what they're hiding, but this is something I wished had the kind of coverage that the Johnny Depp case did, because I really think there were some nefarious things in a lot of the world's political leaders and whatnot. I'm not a conspiracy theorist guy, by the way. I'm not one of those people. I just think this is very fishy. That's really all it is. My only legal knowledge comes from Daredevil. I'm not mad at that. I feel that. Shout out to Matthew Murdoch. But yeah. Blah, blah, blah. I got through this. So hopefully we get some more on this. What's the next thing I want to talk about? I want to talk about this guy because I thought it was funny. A little bit of a funny one. I wonder the video is a video. Can I watch the video somewhere? What does this do? No, it doesn't. You guys hear about that bodega bro? I guess his name is what? What does his name was? Griffin. You guys see this? Ghislaine, the only Ghislaine that was the one from Mushoku Tensei. Okay. From my understanding, I just thought it was kind of funny. From my understanding there was I guess he moved from the Midwest, or he moved from somewhere, and he came to the Bronx for the first time, and he was like, yo, I can't get like groceries. I don't know where nothing is. I can't get like eggs and cheese or whatever. And the company he worked for, which was Outreach, I believe, actually fired him off of some of the TikToks that he had. Thank you for the follow. I'm actually going to talk about the Boris Johnson thing in a second. It's one of the segments I have. The difficulty I will have with that is I'm going to read that article from start to finish because I actually don't follow UK politics as much. I kind of stay in the US and Canada. I have been seeing some stuff happening. There are actually a couple of things worldwide I want to talk about too, because I want to talk about the Dutch farmers, their protests, and something happened. Was it Italy or France that I saw something crazy happening? I don't know, but I want to talk about it. I am going to talk about it. I almost felt bad for bro. Almost. Clown tried to backtrack and highlight bodegas after everything. I just wanted to know why he got fired. Like what did he do that was a fireable offense? Like, I make a TikTok video going somewhere new and I'm kind of confused and don't know what's going on, and I get fired. You don't know if you don't like. I don't like the immediate willingness to just completely kind of destroy someone's life because of a political opinion you disagree with or something. Understand that. I think it's strange. If there's I don't care how much you love them or admire or respect somebody. If you agree with everything someone does or says, you need to really be thinking about your own mind and brain. You should not agree with anything everyone says or does. You should disagree with some people, with people you love on many things. I can talk to somebody who I vehemently politically oppose. I have someone in my friend circle I talk to a lot in the force. He is a socialist. I don't like socialism. I disagree with pretty much every stance he has politically, but that's still my friend. There's no reason for civil discourse to fail. There's no reason for us to be enemies. He's still my friend. I disagree with him a lot, but that's fine. Why you can agree to disagree. That's cool. But he should have kept his mouth shut. His gay pride video was funny though. I saw that one. I think I saw that one. He's just going around like I guess he moved during Pride Month. We didn't know, but he posted his acceptance letter, breached contract. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. I am not either. I am not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm neither. I don't have any political affiliation to any party, to any political ideology, to any political person or leader. I might speak on something. I might sound more left leaning. I might speak on something. I might sound more right leaning. I might speak on something, and I'll sound like a moderate or a centrist. I'm not libertarian. I'm not a socialist. I am not a liberal. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a Republican. Not a Democrat. I'm none. I'm nothing. I belong to the House of Common Sense. One thing you have to know about me is I generally reject collective groups of anything, even something as stupid as like a fandom. I hate the One Piece fan base, bro. They're terrible. I don't like them. They're annoying. I don't like corporations. I don't like companies. I don't like, think of any like large group of people or whatnot. I don't really like. I like some individuals that may fall into them, but I like hate most things, honestly. So yeah. Neutralism raw. I'm just a citizen. I can't even vote yet. Agreed. Yeah, like I think that's how you get trapped. Like, are you a Democrat or blah 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 and this and that? Like, no. Like I care about the truth, logic, common sense, and reason. I'll stand on those morals until I die, for better or for worse. That's why even though I can see somebody who I just like, I do not agree with what you are saying to me. That's fine. As long as I don't think you're dangerous. But who am I to decide if someone's dangerous or not? I'm one of those people who are so free speech, I'm okay with hate speech. You can come up on the podium on some season 4 Boondocks and be like, I hate ninjas. I hate them. I just know to stay clear of people like you and people in your camp. But, you're not free of consequences and backlash from your hateful speech, but you have the right to say it. I'm not a fan of censorship. You and me, yeah, I don't like mob mentality either, bro. Yeah, feel that. Same night, bro. I'm just out here. Like, I'm just a regular dude who lives life and who just sometimes has to comment on it. Cause like one thing I tell about people, because I get this. I used to be so apolitical when I was younger. Like, politics are dumb. I don't give a f. It's stupid. I agree. Politics are ridiculous, especially over here in the West and like North America. We're completely lost. We completely lost the plot. But it's important because they prey on your lack of knowledge or you not knowing or not caring. So it's important for you to know just so you have the awareness. That's all I tell people. Just be aware. Every once in a while, check in. I like to use the app Ground News. Ground News is a pretty good app because you can kind of see where the blind spots are. Let's say the news of the day is Edward Elric resurrected his mom, right? You would get the left-leaning, the super left-leaning, the centrist, the right, and the alt-right like perspectives across, or you can see which group of people aren't trying to cover it, so you can see where the loophole is or where that is. So I like Ground News for that. Being a regional person raw, dude, there are some people who after the shooting on the 4th blame Democrats. Yeah, that was weird. I'm not sure what it is. Is it education? Is it indoctrination? Like, because one thing I learned pretty recently about Americans is that you guys have something called not you guys, I don't know if you're all American in here. You have something called the Pledge of Allegiance. You have to say like every day at school alongside the national anthem. And I just wonder if, and I've seen and heard in a lot of these schools, if you hold conservative values, and it's very hard for you to speak because most people around you tend to be very, I guess, crazy liberals. I don't know. I haven't been in school since 2012. I'm 29. Like, I'm pretty much 30. Like, I'm an old ass man. All right, I'm a boomer. I don't know what's going on there because I'm just not on there anymore. So I don't know I don't know what it is but I've been hearing it's been very hard to like just be yourself there and hold an opposing view, even if you're respectful. Like, hey, you might be pro-life. I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-life. I respect your opinion. You can get like expelled. I don't know though. I'm not there. I can't speak on it. We indoctrinated, bro. Yep, shit was always weird, but it depended on where you live. I don't stand for that garbage. Nah, it's the other way around. At least here in the South, very conservative. Okay, that last part's kind of true, but the pledge and that other nonsense is cap. Okay. You can't say anything not liberal in Cali. Okay, California, I heard, is a pretty thing state. In elementary school, we had to stand for it and recite it. Middle school, we just said F it. Okay. I used to come late on purpose just to not sing my national anthem. I actually don't know the national anthem in English. I only know it in French. I don't know it in English. Yes, in Florida, we did pledge and thing. Are you from Florida? Are you a fan of Ron DeSantis? Ron DeSantis has been like the talking point I've been seeing around there for a long time. But shout out to Bodega, bro. I don't know if he's like fired or like I hope he's alright, but I don't know. But things that someone said he breached a contract, or that's what it was. But this one I'm gonna have to read from start to finish because I think it's interesting because I don't know. It seems to be like a global outrage for many things, a lot of things, which is interesting in its own right. We have to stand, but I put my hand on my chest. I never understand. Maybe I'm an asshole, but you ever see somebody like standing for the national anthem and they're just like, and they're like crying, and I'm like, why are you crying, bro? Like, I mean, maybe I'm missing something. I don't know, but I'll be like, bro, relax. It's not that deep. Like, why are you so emotional over there? But I can understand if at least if you fought for your country. I'm not a military guy, so I'd be laughing. That's right. I was very liberal till I left school. Now I just exist. No more politics. Fair enough. We have to stand, right hand over your chest, and pledge allegiance. I always stand for the pledge, and it always kind of pissed me off when people didn't stand. But that's just me. That's fair. The 2016 elections was when my eyes got opened. In middle school, we would play the Whitney Houston Super Bowl national anthem performance. The pledge occurs more often at sports and events in schools from my experience. Okay, interesting. Same. Like, bro, chill. Nigga think he at war. Dude, in the national anthem goes in my head and he gets out of my head just as fast. Okay, that's fair. I always wondered because when I was younger, I used to always find Americans really cared about America. I'm cool with like, you know, patriotism and you being a fan of your ethnicity and nationality and stuff, but I do think you could take it too far. That's all. By the time I got to high school, my teacher stopped giving an F and almost none pledged. Okay, I do respect the soldiers though. Okay, I feel that, but yeah. My family in the military, I ride for them. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm starting to meet more people who are into that, who are in the Air Force and things of that nature. So as a result of that, I'm starting to kind of get it more. So I understand why some more military families moved the way they are. But growing up, I didn't know anybody who was really in the military or anything of the sort. So yeah. But one second. All right, my bad. I'm back. People will always shame you if you're in the why? I don't know. I don't get it. Whoops, that's the wrong screen. I don't get that. But okay, I want to read this. I don't know how. I don't have NewsGuard on this thingy. But okay. Police fire on Dutch farmers protesting environmental rules. Farmers have blocked supermarkets, distribution centers, and roads in response to government plans to cut nitrogen emissions. I know we've been having some issues with fuel and whatnot, so there's that. Sorry, hold on. Twitter crazy. Twitter is crazy. Like Twitter, I never make Twitter my reality. That's a mistake I used to make a little bit. I think a little bit during the George Floyd craziness, I really let Twitter dictate my reality. He's very political, using everything to blame Boogerman left. Not many positives. It's insane. Call them war criminals and things, and they commit crime themselves. When you say you're enabling the destruction of foreign countries by joining them, like fam. Gotta definitely have a good stream that's gonna be on YouTube. Probably posted on my other channel, but yeah, it will be. Yeah, I would say liberal Americans will downright disrespect war on vets and any military officials. I'm not here to destroy countries. I feel that. The political issue is just too much in the U.S. I think because we've politicized everything now. Because like, I actually remember the first time I didn't get politically attacked, but it was just like I was streaming. And something happened. I don't remember exactly. I think it might have been the is it Israeli and Palestinian conflict. And someone asked my thoughts on it, and I just said, I'll be very honest. I didn't even know like the country of Palestine. like I just ignorant, don't know. And like someone was like, well, what do you think about it? Like I don't know. Like I didn't even know this was happening. Like I cannot keep track of all the wars, tragedies, famine, and everything happening everywhere in the world. I'm just one man. So, yeah. I don't have the energy for them. I think the reason that I can do this is because, in a weird way, this is my reprieve. I spend so much time talking about nerd-ish games, manga, comics, blah, 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 yada, yada. People are constantly picking my brain about Tower of God and things. When I could just talk about real life, it's actually me getting a break in a weird way. But I can go too far and doom scroll and make myself sad. So I gotta stop doing that. I'm here for oh my god. What's up, KG? Maybe they don't realize the most of them just need money. Yeah, many soldiers get my eternal respect and probably join after college. You don't know my country. We need better marketing. I didn't know. I really don't. Wait, aren't you from I swear you're not from there. I swear now I don't want to say it because I don't know if I'm right, but my world is way more interested in. Yeah, I feel that. I think for most people, the nerd-ish is their escape. For me, it's opposite. Let me keep reading this Dutch stuff. So Dutch police fired shots at tractor-riding farmers who were protesting against plans to cut nitrogen emissions on Tuesday evening in the northern Netherlands. Police said they were responding to a threatening situation when the farmers who were attempting to push past a blockade to get onto a highway in the province of Friesland. I don't know. Started to drive their tractors into officials and their vehicles. According to the Friesland police, their shots hit a tractor, but no one was injured. 3 suspects were arrested. The what? Look, man, I speak English and French. That's all I got, bro. I don't know how to say that word. The Dutch government's internal investigator said it would look into the events given the police had discharged their weapons. A spokesperson for the Friesland police did not respond to inquiries, but said a statement would be released later on Wednesday. If for anyone wondering why I'm reading this and why I think it's important, there are some people in studies and globalist people and like people who I guess track certain things who believe that there could be not a global famine. It won't hit first world countries as bad, but apparently I don't know if this is true or not. This is just what I've seen. I've seen it said enough across a lot of articles. I believe that this one thing is true, but I obviously can't. I'm gonna tell you that I don't know for a fact. But apparently, Ukraine is responsible for like a lot of fertilizer or something like that, and we could have a really bad like fall harvest in general because there's not enough, and like a lot of farmers on this is not even fully on screen, my bad guys, a lot of farmers are and stuff who are getting attacked, and it's like, well, we need the farmers because the farmers are the people who grow our food and crops and chickens and whatnot. Why are you attacking them? They need the nitrogen and fossil fuels or whatever the case is to actually work. You still need to power these machines. And often I would hear some like wealthy political person, when people are speaking about the economy, inflation, and gas prices, be like, get a Tesla. Get an electric vehicle. And I just think they're so out of touch with the working class and the regular people of the world. A guy who works at Amazon cannot do that. Can't just be like, Tesla today. So, bro, I'm one man just living. I'm sorry, I truly am. I feel like, oh, you are Palestinian. All right, my bad, brother. Why I think you were from Egypt? I don't know. I swear, I might just like somebody else then. That's my fault, brother. I didn't know. I can't be too bothered with real people half the time. The nerd-ish that I live and breathe, I'll hear crazy-ish about the world and be genuinely shocked. Oh, shoot. That's kind of... Let me keep reading this, though, because this was intriguing me when I saw it earlier. Dutch farmers have this week been protesting the government plans that require farms to use less fertilizer, reduce their livestock numbers, which could force some farms to shut down. The government wants to reduce emissions of nitrogen oxide and ammonia, which are produced by livestock, by 2030. Cuts can reach over 70% in some areas under the plans. In response, Dutch farmers have blocked supermarkets, distribution centers, and roads in protest this week. Wednesday morning, they're expected to demonstrate at the Groningen airport, according to Dutch media. MP Karel van der Plas called for an emergency debate with the Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte. I don't know how to say that, and the Prime Minister just okay. I hope they figure that out. I gotta read more on this, but farmers are so important. Please don't piss them off. They feed us. That's all I'm saying. No one is going for agriculture. I wonder how long it will be before the first generation farmers are no more. I know. I wouldn't mind doing some farm work, honestly. I think farms are pretty cool. I think the problem with me is the smell of animals. I don't like how zoos smell. And out of all of my 8 senses. I'm kidding. 6 senses. No, I'm kidding. 5 senses. My nose is the most sensitive. Something I don't like. If I don't like the smell of something, it really, really bothers me. Like irritates the hell out of me. Seeing this man everywhere today. To be honest, Egypt is right next to me. So you got close. Oh really? That Flight Club quote you posted, live rent free in my head, and I haven't seen the movie. It's a really good quote, right? It's powerful. I'd only just seen Fight Club for the first time, and so yeah. But anyways, let's talk about some more, I guess, UK European stuff here. So Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of is it the United Kingdom? Is that what it is actually? Shit. He's gonna resign and seem to be stepping out. Do you know how many senses humans have? I want to say 5. I guess plus the 6th sense, but I was just being an asshole because I was quoting Saint Seiya because Saint Seiya has a 6th and 7th, a 7th and 8th sense. I actually don't know. Maybe my answer is 5, 6. What is it? Touch, taste, see, smell, sight. Then your 6th sense, your extraterrestrial brain, or whatever the case may be. So need to marry a girl, go get some farm, or just chill for the rest of my life. I feel that. But an island, get some villains. Yeah, I just want to like fuck off on some nice place with a nice land and island, just beautiful scenery, and just be divorced from all this. But let's see what's happening with Boris. Boris Johnson announced resignation. When the herd moves, it moves. It's moving you. By Dave Lyer, okay, Axios World. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson confirmed Thursday that he will resign as leader of the Conservative Party. I didn't know that. It's Conservative. Oh, well, I don't know if the UK Conservative is different from ours, but and step down as Prime Minister once a replacement is selected. How it happened. Dozens of ministers and Johnson's government resigned over the past 24 hours as a cascade of scandals finally caught up to the Prime Minister. I remember some of this. Like he was doing the lockdown mandates and stuff, but he was still partying, right? Or he was going out. In remarks to the outside 10 Downing Street, Johnson said it was a painful moment and noted that he fought hard to avoid it. What he's saying, it's clearly now the will of the Parliament Conservative Party that there should be a new leader and therefore a new Prime Minister, Johnson said. He thanked the voters who gave him a landslide general election victory in December of 2019. It's only been that many years? And said he resisted the calls to resign because I felt it was my job, my duty, my obligation to continue to do what we promised in 2019. Referring to the Conservative members of Parliament who turned against him, he said the herd instinct is powerful, and when the herd moves, it moves. But Johnson said that no leader was indispensable, and our brilliant and Darwinian system will produce another leader. He promised to offer his successor his support. Interesting. Extraterrestrial, we aliens now, Chief? I don't know. But if we're serious, climate change is a government issue because an average person can't buy a Tesla, but the government can work to make electric cars more affordable, and that's not even the main issue. Prime ministers in the UK resigning every 2 weeks. What's happening? The Conservative Party is like a legit left party in America, economically, not socially. Okay, fair enough. Other than the 5, there is the sense of pain, temperature, balance, precipitation. Wait, what does it say? Something station. Chronos. Oh, is that time? Chronoception. That's interesting. I'm looking to that. I'm gonna write that down. I'm just put other senses. I hope they remember what that means. That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool. I'll look at that. I like that. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, is there something happening in France too? Like in France uprising. I want to be better at least knowing what's happening in America, Canada, and the UK, like the Western world. Like I could not tell you anything about like China and stuff. But anyways. When Johnson said he appointed a new cabinet that would serve alongside him until the Conservative Party elected a new leader to replace him as Prime Minister, the BBC. I was laughing. I'm sorry, I was laughing when I say BBC. I can be a child sometimes. My mind goes to big, black, conservative. Reported that Johnson intended to remain in a caretaker capacity perhaps early October, but he's already coming under pressure to hand over power much sooner. The new cabinet is taking shape, and some positions may prove difficult to fill given the sheer number of resignations. At least 59 members of Johnson's government had resigned at the time of his remarks. Interesting. Shout out BBC gang. You know what I'm saying? It's not me though. I'm SBC. The last straw was the revelation that Johnson had named conservative MP Chris Pitcher to his government, despite being aware of his previous misconduct allegations against him. But were those proven or just allegations? There's something that I've noticed a lot that happened recently, and again, I don't defend any of this. I'm not with all that shit. I really hate that shit. Don't do that. Stop being weird. But if it's an allegation, that means it hasn't been proven yet. I'm not with this guilty before proven innocent thing that we've been doing recently. It's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but I guess that's besides the point. That's one rebrand I'll never stick. So he resigned last week after new allegations came up. Okay, well, I guess where there's smoke, there's fire, but it seemed increasingly clear, though perhaps Mr. Johnson himself, that his position was becoming untenable. Johnson insisted until Thursday morning that he would fight on, citing his massive electoral mandate, setting the scene. A cluster of royal members of parliament gathered outside 10 Downing Street to applaud Johnson's remarks. Johnson managed to keep the tone light, as is his style, despite the gravity of the moment. He also briefly addressed the people of Ukraine, where he is immensely popular due to his support for weapon shipments, and promised that support would continue under his successor. Does anybody know the actual underpinnings and history behind this Ukraine-Russia conflict? I actually don't know that. I'm just confused to why a lot of our countries are spending millions to billions of dollars to send them a bunch of material to fight. I know there's NATO and stuff, but I'm not particularly well versed in those things. One thing about me, if I don't know something, I'll just tell you I don't know. I have one of my favorite quotes of all time is from Adventure Time. Is this? I can't remember the cat's name. It's from one of the earliest seasons, and he calls Finn Frank the human boy, and Finn goes, "How did you almost get my name right?" And he goes, "I have approximate knowledge of many things." That's one of the most applicable quotes to me. Where it's that's kind of how I see myself. I have approximate knowledge of a lot of things. I'm not a know-it-all though. Ukraine was a part of the Soviet Union. Russia wants it back. Okay. Naya not in. Wait, hold on. Where was I? France is hilarious because their current president is just a banker that no one likes, but they just chose him over the other person. Was a crazy girl and a daughter of a dude who told Jews that he would have made the oven hotter. Wow. Well, Naya not it. Not in 2020. Allegations are the proof of 2022. And the court of public opinion takes no prisoners. Facts. I don't know everything, but essentially Russia doesn't want them to join due to their proximity. Okay, they're close by, right? Okay. I don't know. I gotta brush up some history stuff, but all right. That's the end of this article. I think this is another one and stuff, but all right. So I'll try to keep an eye on that and learn what I can about him. But it's another article I have. Did he lie or something? I guess I don't know what his promises were. I don't know. I didn't follow UK stuff enough, but let's get into something that I thought was actually kind of bad-ish. Do I have the video here? I don't want to play the whole thing. Yeah, I'll play a little bit here. Is this on my screen properly? Let me move this a bit to the side. So there's a place called Del Fry's in New York. I think is New York. NYC means New York City or New York County. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not from New York. I think New York City, but NYC, whatever. And my understanding is in Manhattan, so maybe that'll clear up for someone else. I don't know. There's 3 women who are probably inebriated. It was really late. It was about 4:10 in the morning and stuff. And let me see the Twitter. This one. What does this give me? Okay, yeah. This is kind of city. Okay, thank you. I guess we'll just watch for a second. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but I think there's a sauce or a gravy or something that they wanted, and it was $175, and I guess I took issue with that. I don't know if you guys have ever worked in a fast food restaurant that's open 24/7 when it's late. You're going to get a lot of drunk, high, and cross-faded customers coming in. But they were throwing stuff at the employee, doing the most. They were destroying stuff. They took down the plexiglass. They hopped over the fence or the partition there. Launched more things. Oh no! I want to find the massacre was twerking. Then you got all these dumbass moron idiot men out there just recording, just embarrassing, and they black. I get secondhand embarrassment from black people doing dumbass shit like this. So just embarrassing altogether. They were arrested. Their names were said out loud and stuff, but it's just I've been seeing in places like New York, California, if correct me if I'm wrong, but I think San Diego and San Francisco is a part of Cali, right? And I've been hearing about a poop squad. Like, there is so much feces that it created like a new job opportunity where people go out and like they call like, who you gonna call? Poop busters! If there's fucking shit in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? Like, I don't know what. That is crazy to me. I believe that a lot of these places were trying to be softer on crime and find different alternatives for people with mental health issues and whatnot. But one thing that I know from the little bit of law that I did study is that if you're soft on crime, people will take advantage of that. And I think a lot of these people are just knowing they're not going to get in real trouble. So they just do this. But I know they were drunk and probably, whatever. Second-hand shame is no joke, correct? And then act surprised when the cops show up to the door. Apparently one of them assaulted one of the officers. Heard about this? People ish in California street something? My lord, yeah. You got to hit up Fish Mix? I do? Does he live there or something? Basically, if the Ukraine joins NATO, they get closer to Russia's enemies. So if Russia gets an enemy in the border, they'll have to join the NATO. Ukraine can get. Oh, okay. I'm gonna write to look up Ukraine Russia conflict start. Okay. Oh, he lives there. Okay, I'd love to have him. None of my friends want to come talk about this stuff today. They're tired of me. So let me just read this. For T-rated customers in Manhattan. Bell Fries, Lower City Thursday. They posted Twitter. There's something I'm trying to remember what it was about I think the workers got hurt. They had lacer. There you go. The trio caused more than $250 worth of damage to the business and injured a 33-year-old female employee and a male employee. Both suffered laceration to their heads, according to cops. Now, I don't know if the person filming is the male or the female. I don't know what it is. But I do want to say this because I think it's important. There's been a bit of increased cowardice in terms of doing the right thing, and I understand the reasoning why. I'm really not mad at a lot of people this. I was watching Timcast earlier today. I like Timcast. Timcast is like the one show that I like from a political standpoint. There's people I watch here and there, but I usually kind of watch just to get a different opinions and spectrums. Like I'll watch I'll do my best to watch the Young Turks, but they're hard to watch. I remember Vosh from back in the day. I do my best sometimes. I don't like that other guy. I think his name is Hassan Anabi. I can't listen to him. I think he's an idiot, personally speaking. He's one of the fakest intellectuals I've ever seen. I don't think he's intelligent. I don't know how these people get fan bases, and I tried my best to watch that. Very recently, Ethan Klein? I don't know, but I try to watch a bunch of other stuff. But Timcast is the one that I can kind of watch daily because they get a bunch of different people, and the people there seem to be like a conservative, a moderate, a liberal, whatever, and they kind of just keep it, they keep it funky. I like that one, so I kind of watch them pretty often. But he was talking about I guess a guy one time there's a lost child in a supermarket, and the woman saw that the lost child was there and saw like a man walking by it. And then he ignored the child or ran away or something like that. And then other people came to help, and I guess she tracked him down and asked him, "Why did you run?" And he said, "If I run, if I went to help that kid, I might have been accused as being the kidnapper or the person who tried to get it." And I get that. It kind of reminds me of a lot of men when they speak to me about being afraid to approach women in certain ways and talk to girls because of Me Too movement and things of that nature. And I get that, but you can't live in fear and scarcity. You're going to hurt yourself that way, but I get it. Mitigate the damage you can take, but still try your best to do the right thing. If you're a lost child in the middle of a supermarket or something like that, try to find help. Yeah, you. It was you, 101, lost child. Oh, Hassan is awful. I agree. I just get salty about Ukraine because of the double standard compared to Palestine, like FIFA banning a player because he wore a shirt saying "Free for Gaza" and celebrated the guy for wearing something. Yeah. It's very pick and choose with these people. With these it's I've noticed this. I guess with Clarence Thomas, it's Black Lives Matter. But if you're kind of like a Republican or on the right, then it's fuck you. Like he's a Uncle Tom, Uncle Ruckus. He's an N-word. This and that and the third. Secular talk is solid though. they are more of an economical leftist than us all. Okay, I'll say secular talk. I'll give them a try. I'm trying to find more middle of the ground, moderate, kind of like shows that talk about these things. I found this one guy who like I think he like chops wood. He's like wood shop. Like he like makes like bird houses and tree houses, and then he talks about law. He's like a lawyer too. It's really dope. That's not the only reason Terrence Clarence Thomas is called a coon. What else? I think the only thing that I knew about him prior to everyone being outraged at him and Kavanaugh and stuff is that at one point in time he was under fire for some allegations. I don't know if he beat those or lost to those, but you can let me you can let me know. You can give me extra like if you know something that I don't, feel free to tell me because I don't have all the answers. Secular talk. Sorry, I almost forgot to write that down. Okay. But yeah. He's not an Uncle Tom because Ukraine is white. He's a weirdo for trying to relate us despite living in a multi-million neighborhood behind gates. Yup. Why would they care about the Middle East? Y'all too dark for them to care. Palestinians are shaman Arabs. We got white people, I swear. It just, I don't know. Because depending on who you ask, these people like I've seen some people talking about like there was a couple like I don't know if you guys watch I occasionally watch his name Jeremy. I've recently been seeing his stuff pop up on my recommended from the quartering. I watch some stuff he does from here and there, and I think he was talking about like a restaurant or some work hiring place, and they were like, "Yo, no white people. If you're a cis white male, you need not apply." And it just backfired because that's just bad business practice. Like whether or not whatever racial beliefs you have, I'm not here to talk about that. But that's just like white people in America are still the majority. I don't know if I'm sure it could change depending on section and state and city and whatnot. But why would you eliminate your possible biggest customer base? This is not. You didn't want to make money, in my opinion. So yeah, I don't know. It's very weird. But yeah, this was a crazy story that gave me secondhand embarrassment. Like, this is actually another story that happened. Oh, Eric Adams is defending this guy. Eric Adams is like, I know, like, for all I know about Eric Adams is everyone in New York like hates him. But actually, I'd seen this today. I don't know the entire story, so I'm just gonna kind of just paraphrase what I know, what I saw. No graphic content. Don't show that. My understanding there was like somebody came into a like bodega, a woman, and I guess he grabbed the chip out of her hand. She didn't have enough money, and a guy in an Armani shirt came in, and I guess he kind of hopped over the counter and was like threatening violence. And that guy used a knife in self-defense, and he's the one that's kind of being, I guess. Depending on what media source you're plugged into, he's being lambasted as like the wrong, like murder. You did wrong, sense of defense. The quartering delivers using content. I like him. I like Jeremy. I don't have any issues with him. But I did see this, so I wonder what's gonna happen with him. I think at one point I saw a GoFundMe for him, and then it got taken down or something. But that's what did this guy say? Listen to him real quick. It's gonna load. Are you gonna load? Hey.
Who follow the law? And as I saw it from the video, I saw a worker here inside the store following the law, and he should not have been approached in the manner that he was approached. And I think it's time for New Yorkers and Americans to start standing up for people who follow the law, and that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. You're still a moron for putting on that like show of like running over motorcycles. What that about? Essentially, Thomas' actions show how he votes and such. He tends to be considered anti-black and go against the interests of the black community. Okay, fair enough. I guess that's. I mean, I can't say whether you're right or wrong. I'll take your word for fair at face value. But all right, fair enough though. Okay. So I'll rescind what I said earlier because I didn't know. Maybe I don't have all the history. And this is the story that I want to talk about kind of the most. This is kind of like this kind of pissed me off today. this story that I saw. And I gotta make sure I find. Okay, this is the video I'm looking for. I need to find this guy. I guess Can I go here? Okay, so I want you to see this. Now, I don't know what you guys like. I'll be very honest. Growing up, I had a lot of friends who were in trouble with the law, and still to this day. Okay. He also married a white woman. A lot of black people, some people don't like him, discredit him in typical 20th fashion. Not saying he does or doesn't. I'm just saying that's the narrative. Okay, thank you. I got more of the picture now. I didn't know much about him except he's on the Supreme Court of America, of the U.S. Right. So my understanding is some environmentalists and people who care about climate change and wanted Joe Biden to launch some emergency climate change thingamajigger-madoober-mabobber. They basically blocked, I don't know if it was a highway or a road or a freeway or whatever, but they sat down and they blocked it, causing up a traffic jam. One of the agitated drivers got out because he was on parole. I don't know if you know anything about parole, but when you're on parole, you have to be very careful and do like everything to a T. Like you violate one thing, and they're just gonna throw you back in the gulag, the Riker, so to speak. This guy kind of comes out, and I'm not going to excuse his behavior because he got aggressive and agitated, and when you're on parole, you can't do anything wrong. You have to stay calm and regulate your temperament. But I really feel very bad for this guy. He tried to plead with them like, please open one lane. I'm on parole, and if I don't get to work on time, I will go to prison. And apparently this dude has a child. The story gets a little nastier. I'll get there in a second, but let me just play this for a quick second. Oh, actually, I don't want to play it here. I want to play it here. Sorry, because this was just. He's like
One lane.
One lane.
One lane. Before I go to prison, bro. One lane before I go to prison. For President Biden to declare a climate emergency. Hey, come to the lot. Go to jail for what you do. Hey, bro.
Like, they just wouldn't get out of his way. Welcome to the gulag. Follow the rules, and you may earn your freedom. So long story short, when the authorities came, this guy was the one who got taken away, I believe. His shirt's off and everything. He's agitated. He can't get to work on time. And even if they had moved, probably if he was late, they probably still would have thrown him in. But when authorities show up, he gets taken away here. Yo.
Can you hop on the other side unless you don't want to be on this side? Yo, we gorgeous, y'all. We gorgeous. We gorgeous. Ashley.
On the other side of that line for him, please.
Take the fuck.
I don't know. But let me tell you where it gets worse. I have to go to my Twitter for a second. I couldn't believe this. All right. Where did I tweet too damn much, bro? I really do. I be tweeting too much. Okay, there it is. This guy. His name is Guido Rechenstaden. I don't know how to say his name. He was at the protest. He was there. He was one of the people who were sitting down blocking the road. And this guy would go through his Twitter. He's a maniac leftist who just like yells about everything. Super liberal guy. Like just absolutely insane. No thought, right? He made a GoFundMe not knowing who this person is. Doesn't know this man. And is trying to raise money to put his life back on track. You guys effectively put this man in prison. Then you're trying to steal money off of what you did to him. You're not giving him this money. You don't even know him. Are you fucking kidding me? This made me sick. Let's read this shit. My name is, man, fuck you. You're a bitch. You're a bitch ass nigga. I'm doing this fundraiser for my friend, a man who was caught in a blockade. My friend. A blockade that helped participate in. I believe he was abused by police who wrongfully arrested him. Due to him bumping into me a few times in the blockade, a hold of this man behaved non-violently towards me. I felt non-threatened by blah, blah. This man needs help. He smelled of alcohol and seemed inebriated and distressed when he approached me. So basically he's saying DUI. He also was a DUI, was driving under the influence. He faces trouble with the laws and has a child who depends on him. I do not know his name or any details of his history or family. So how are you going to get this money to him? Like, and some of these idiots have donated. Like, he's trying to get like 6 figures for this. It's just sick, bro. It's sick. I couldn't believe it. You don't get out the man's way. Like, yo, you jammed up traffic. You got national attention and attention. You made your point. You can't open up one lane for the man. You're not his friend. You don't know nothing about him. Exactly. It was so crazy. I don't know, bro. But anyways, Naya, you do look at the retweet button like it's a button not going. I feel that. I hate this. Give me my money for the cause shit. It ain't real. It's just very disheartening and unfortunate. But I hope you get some justice. What the comment section saying? Blocking traffic is perhaps the least effective kind of protesting and one of the more dangerous ones. All these people angry at the cause. Yeah, this doesn't help. Like, you're not gonna making me late for work and lose. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm going to leave like the news segment, so to speak, at that. Go back to my just chatting page here. Give me a sec. Deactivate solo. Bada boom, bada bing. It's just unfortunate, man. It's just disheartening to see some of these kind of things and behavior, and they get away with it, and people like they advocate for it. When I don't get it. Do people read? Reading and comprehension is so important. Pat always says that literacy is at an all-time low. Reading comprehension at an all-time low, and I agree with him more and more all the time. Unmoved, feel it. It's just, I don't know. Can't do that, man. Can't do that. I guess the other thing I could think of on top of my head, I guess I could pull this up. I don't mind. That I kind of cared about. Do you guys know who Brittany Griner is? The WNBA player. I think she's being detained in America. Jesus Christ, in Russia right now. I'll just pull this up real quick. Oh, did I delete that off this page? Where did I do that? Do you already talk about what happened at the bodega in Harlem? Where's Harlem? I don't know where Harlem is. Is that New York? I talked about the 3 girls who were drunk at the place. I talked about Bodega Bro. I talked about Boris. I talked about the environmentalists and the Dutch people being shot and stuff. So a lot of people are saying free here and stuff, and I saw some bad tweets saying if it was LeBron James, he would have been free or whatever. But like, I need some of us over here in the West to understand that our way of life is not the end all be all and applicable to all places in the world. Yeah, I seen the Transformers one, like in New York. Yeah, but New York. Yeah, I talked about I think if we talk about the 3 girls who broke the glass and stuff like that, I did talk about that. I already told you my stance on that. Yes, we did talk about it, Nara. Yeah. She was, I don't know, she was vaping or smoking. What does it say here? I guess we can just read it real quick because I haven't been following it. I just know she's been trapped there or she's been there, held there, detained there, and they're like, you can't break the law, man. And it's not good. Well, what's Discord? I did not want Discord. Let's try it again. Disheartening. I just need common sense to come back, bro. Why won't it give me the option to use the other thing? What, I don't know what happened to my whatever. But anyways, she had hash, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was the owner stabbing a man to death. Oh, that one. Yes, I talked about that one. Yes, that was the guy. The girl came in with the chips and whatever, and she went out, got her man. He was in the Armani shirt. He came over the counter, and he got stabbed to death by the guy in the counter. Yes, I talked about that. Justifiable self-defense, in my opinion. I heard, I was talking to my friends about this, that once you have more power in a situation, you're not supposed to keep going and escalate. So, like, if you, like, try to, like, I guess, stab me and I disarm you and I, like, push you down and you're, like, hurt, I shouldn't come in for the kill. That's still murder. I don't know, though. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer, but yeah. She had hash? Oh, oof. Yeah, that's not good. She pleaded guilty. Jailed American basketball star Griner on Thursday pleaded guilty to drug possession during a trial in Moscow. It said she had no intention of committing a crime. Representatives for Griner confirmed that the Associated Press and WA star pleaded guilty to drug charges possessions. Russian news reports quoted Griner saying through an interpreter at the court hearing that she had acted unintentionally because she was packing in haste. That doesn't matter. Griner, 31, was detained in February. It's been that long. Moscow airport after vape canisters with cannabis oil allegedly were found in her luggage. She faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted of large-scale transportation of drugs. U.S. committed to bringing an athlete home. The trial of the athlete center star WNBA Phoenix Mercury two-time Olympic gold medalist began last week amid a growing chorus of calls for Washington to do more to secure freedom. They defined what's up to arrest before Thursday's hearing. Russian police escorted Griner handcuffed and clad in a bright red shirt. For trousers, blah, blah. Russia bristles at wrongfully detained. Russia deputy foreign manager Sergei Rakbov bristled at the U.S. description of Griner as wrongfully detained and warned that attempts by the American side to make noise in public won't help the practical settlement of issues. The White House said Biden called Griner's wife on Wednesday to assure her that he's doing all he can to obtain. Biden's not doing shit. They spoke after Biden read a letter from Griner, which said she feared she'd never return home. In Russia, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just like, you know what's going on, and that's crazy. But I need people to understand that if you come to Toronto, you can smoke, bro. We be smoking weed, bro. We can smoke here. It's legal now. I think since 2018, 2019, it's been legal. That is not everywhere. That's not every state. That's not every. Some countries are very hard on something as simple as marijuana, bro. Marijuana possession. You need to know where you're going and what you can and can't do. When I travel, I don't bring any like alcohol or drugs with me. Why would you do that? Why? Why? And why do so many people think that their way of life over here in North America, Canada, America is the way of life you have to apply to everyone? We have freedom, this and that. Yo, other places have their standards, cultures, and traditions and whatnot, and they're allowed to have it, whether or not you agree with it or not. Stop thinking that you're just the holier and thou, the best at the top of the food chain, and everyone should follow your lead. That's how you get arrogant. You start to self-worship and fall into being a narcissist, bro. Whoa, a decade, jeez, I've been in that extra sober. You go to a country, learn about it, or just don't get anything controversial. Yep. It's unfortunate, but like, you shouldn't have done that, man. Shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Actually, there actually is an older news segment I want to find. So I can find this 20-year-old skate border. Cast. That's not what I was looking for. But sorry. It's a reason you're a tourist. One of my biggest fears is getting arrested in a foreign country I'm not familiar with. Same. I just don't do I'm so respectful of their traditions and customs. My way of life in Toronto is not their way of life, and that's okay. That's okay. I guess I'll just pull it up here. Now, I've always been very passionate about this. If you're LGBT and you support them and everything, that's fine. That's cool. What you want to identify as and who you want to sleep with is literally none of my business. That goes for heterosexual people. I don't care who you're sleeping with. I'm not interested. What I don't like is biological males competing in women's sports. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not cool with it. 29-year-old trans woman who has caused controversy being a 13-year-old girl to win first place event in New York. Now, I watched Tim speak about this a lot because he actually skateboards, and he said that there's just not enough women skateboarders in general, and as a result of that, when they have a competition, it tends to be a larger age range from 12 to 30 of them all competing. With the men, it's like more divided, like 16, whatever. Though I do think they also have an open age like competition. Are you looking up the transgender skateboarder that won the FIBA? Yes, I am. Bingo. Yes, motherfucker was on that Vegeta versus Trunks shit. That's yeah. Like, and I'll be very honest. That person, the skater had said that I'm not gonna go easy on them because they're a child. I'll say this. I understand an athlete's mindset of this. You, no matter who the opponent is, you crush them with all your might. So I'm not particularly mad at that statement. But you're a grown ass person who transitioned very, very late, relishing in the fact that you beat basically like 13-year-old girls. Like, bro, I'm not okay with this stuff. Like, I am speaking and seeing more women speak up about their erasure or feeling they're being erased. I think that's a good thing. I don't think it matters if I say it. I think it matters if straight, cis, heterosexual women or people in these communities call out the nonsense in their own communities. The weirdest thing that's happened in these times is the bravest thing you can do is speak against your own tribe. I think that's stupid. You should hold everybody accountable, especially the people closest to you. I am far more likely to hold somebody accountable that's close to me than I am to an effing stranger. You feel what I'm saying? So if I see BLM, which I always believed in the concept that my black life matters, sure, but the actual organization never supported them, and I'm validated in that vindication because Patrice Cullors and those people stole your money, bought mansions, and all kind of dumb shit. But if I said that I was a coon, Uncle Tom, a self-hating black, internalized racism, all those type of things. Like, it was brave of me to speak out against my community. It shouldn't be that. That's stupid. I should be able to be like, yo, this person is a part of the black community, is doing something fucking dumb. Stop. No unity in this fucking community. It's crazy. Unless your body actually changes and is closer to the gender you change, sure, go there. But other than that, go be against people. Nope. I think there needs to be a trans league, personally speaking, or try that. But yeah, they beat a child. They did beat a child. But I'm not okay with all that, man. I hate that. I hate the idea of me possibly having a daughter who maybe just barely cracks, making it into something that some asshole like me goes like, oh, I think I'm a woman, and I transition and I mop the competition. I did see that some of the swimming league or something like that has banned like Leah Thomas and they're doing stuff, but I want them to be able to compete and play sports. I think sports have done a lot for me. I think sports are really, really important and keep a lot of people and kids out of trouble. But we need to find this is a new phenomenon we're dealing with. You can't just force them into places. We got to build the infrastructure, make it make sense, and think sensibly about all the intersecting things it can cross with. I saw on a channel in Canada, they said some person was missing, and it was like, actually, let me not go there. I'm gonna leave that alone. They called you Uncle Rocco. Yeah, I've been called all those kind of things throughout my life pretty often because I don't stay on code. That's what it is. They'll tell me I'm not staying on code. I've been told that as a man, and I've been told that as a black person or black man even. I don't stay on code. I speak my mind, and I speak truth, and I speak what I believe. If you're my friend and you're doing something stupid, you're a knuckle. I'll give you one of my favorite examples of this. I had a friend. For every day for work, his girlfriend made him a sandwich. He likes the sandwich to be cold. So usually she would make it at night, put it in the fridge, and when he wakes up, he's got a cold sandwich. One night, for whatever reason, she didn't do that. But she still got up early and made him a sandwich. And he was really in the car, bitching at me that she did something wrong. And I said, first of all, nigga, ain't nobody making me a sandwich. So fuck you. Second of all, you are in the wrong. I do not agree with you. You're a bozo. Apologize to her. That's how I've always been like that. I'm going to hold you more accountable than I am going to hold a stranger accountable because you're my friend and I'm associated with you, so I can't have you out here embarrassing the whole crew doing dumbass and saying dumbass shit like this. Fucking ridiculous. I'm still dead over the swimmer nonsense. The actual winner didn't receive her award, was forced to give it to the Yet. That was crazy. Let's be real. No one watches trans league. Trans people will complain because they're getting less money they could. It kind of happens with the WNBA too. I didn't know this. I thought they didn't make a lot of money. They're at a $10 million deficit like every year. They lose like $10 million every year, which is kind of crazy. Because you're right, why people act like biological differences don't exist anymore. I don't know why we deny biology and science, but I never will. A league for them will likely be the best move. On for them, he's a bowler for that. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on sometimes, but I tend to a lot of the times like a lot of the news that I look at and read like I see the tide is changing. I'm seeing a lot of mothers actually pay attention to what their children are learning in school and speaking out against it actively. Like, yo, my kid can't read an ad, but he knows how not to like misgender somebody. Like, what's up with that? And I think turning parents into a voting bloc is it can be very interesting to see what happens in these coming elections for our countries. Don't know what's going to happen with America. No idea. Over here in Canada, I just need Trudeau out of here. I can't. You guys, I wish you guys understand how much I have like seething hate. Like, you guys mess with Jordan B. Peterson. You know how like he doesn't like. Me and him are Trudeau's biggest haters, fam. I promise. Anytime he speaks about Trudeau and he's like losing it, I am lock in step. I cannot stand him. God, he's ruining the country that I'm in, bro. It's just awful. Counterpoint here, because I talk about people who involved in these topics. There's a case that women track runners are being banned from competition due to their natural testosterone levels. I've seen people advocating that simply separating the categories men and women as issue to solve that should be reviewed to accommodate these cases outside of the norm. Nope. WNBA only exists so feminists don't get mad. That's an interesting counter argument, I suppose, but it's hard for me to say. Like I have trained very hard. Cause I see very disingenuous arguments like, well, some people are born taller in basketball, and basketball's played like it's not the same, bro. Everything that happens from a sports standpoint should be the skill, the time, effort, and dedication that you put in. Yes, there is a natural, physical, genetic component that ties into that. I am naturally extremely fast. I have strong-ass legs. I told y'all I'm built like Chun-Li. I'm fast. My acceleration is incredible. My top speed is incredible. I can decelerate quickly. My change of space is good, and I'm agile. That's just natural. Have I honed it and made it better over the years? Sure. But I know people who are not athletic, who I've played with. One of my midfielders who worked his ass off to get that strong. Yes, some men have higher levels of estrogen. Some women have higher levels of testosterone and whatnot. But ultimately, that's their natural body composition, how they were born. They're not manipulating that. You living your entire life or most of your life as a male and transitioning, you're going to retain a lot of bone density, muscle structure, and all of those things. And I'm not with just doing testosterone count. But I actually didn't know that some of them were runners and stuff were banned for that. I did not know that. So, I mean, I guess I'll look into that, add it as a variable. Look into testosterone levels. But I didn't know that. That's interesting. And I guess the last thing is just Elon Musk, I suppose. He clapped one of his employees and had children and had twins with them, and I guess people are mad at that. I think people are just having like Elon Musk derangement syndrome, the way they have for Trump, just because he's trying to buy Twitter. I think, I don't know. So a man can be bigger than another man, but the other man can be faster, more durable. But you rarely ever get everything. A man can be faster, stronger, more durable with stamina. Stupid argument. I also would argue that for a lot of things, we still separate by weight class. If you're 240 pounds and I'm 180 pounds, I'm probably not going to be fighting in the same class as you because you have an obvious advantage. If you kind of just lie on me, I can't lift you. You just weigh more. Kind of like when Izzy, I think didn't Izzy once? Izzy went. I think the one fight in UFC specifically that Izzy lost. If you guys like, I don't know if you guys like UFC like that. I'm getting into like combat sports now and stuff. Stylebender. I can't remember what they called him. Stylebender. I think he went up a weight class and lost. And I'll argue he lost because he just wasn't heavy enough. That guy was just heavier than him, you know. So we still do that. So Elon listened to Chalmers order the breed. They got banned from competition and they won some medals in the Olympics afterwards, where the rules were different apparently. Okay. I don't know what the world is trying to do. I'm a fan of live and let live. I'm a fan of people being able to live whatever their truth is and whatever identity they have and stuff. But I do think some people are viruses. And what I mean by that is their ideas are so bad, so radical, and there's such an indoctrinated echo chamber. They literally infect other people, and it causes a chain reaction that compounds. So one dumb person becomes 10 dumb people, becomes 20 dumb people, becomes 40, and it keeps on going. And I'm trying to find the middle ground of live and let live, do your thing, I'm not going to bother you, but also you could be poisoning like other people. I think you need to, I don't know, so we'll see. I'm talking about basketball. Fighting sports is a whole other thing we shouldn't even entertain. I feel that. I don't know. End of the day, a lot of these sports you can get around these things by being skilled. A lot of players who are unathletic, like in comparison to other players, but through hard work, dedication, skill, working at their craft, and having something like mental toughness, they're able to kind of, go against the grain, so to speak. I mean, I once participated in the judo tournament when I was younger. Only woman in the bus, beat every guy in arm wrestle. She wasn't even heavier than the other. There's at least a point of discussion for that, in my opinion. I guess my only question for you is, are you one of those people who like to apply the exception as the rule? I think it's still a variable you have to consider. Fair enough, but is that the rule or exception? And at a younger age, women tend to actually be a little more athletic than men for a while, until we kind of start to hit our puberty stages. There was actually a girl I could not beat in a race until the 6th grade. She was faster than me. I could not beat her. She did gymnastics and stuff, so she was a little stronger and more athletic than other women, but I could not beat her. And then in the 6th to 7th grade, I had a bit of a growth spurt, and I just got naturally strong, whatever, and I fucking dusted her, cleaned her out, completely killed her. So yeah. It only bothers me when you convince other people that something is bad and okay, and shame other people for calling it bad. Is that too, like, again, if people really have this opinion and they want to go with it, I think ultimately it'll lose. I'm a true believer in the coliseum of ideas. Bad ideas lose eventually. Even if they have their time in the sun, even if they're prevailing for a while, at some point they'll lose. They'll lose to logic, reason, and good ideas that make sense. I hope that I'm right on that. No, to me the exception proves the rule. Fair. I think the rules should be a bit less impositive than they are. Like acting like something, facts should be celebrated because of the exception. That means it's generally true. Okay, that's actually a good point, Golden Ace. That's a good point. I like that, but I don't have the power to institute any real change like that. I can just talk about it, whine and complain. But I do very much. I do. If there's two things you guys know I feel strongly about, it's about that body positivity movement. The way it's been perverted, not like its original cause. Because I've always said this. I have that video where I said like kind of being overweight is unacceptable and it's kind of your fault, and I still believe that. Other people with thyroid and autoimmunes and circumstances that are very unfortunate, absolutely. Just because somebody is muscular or looks a certain type of way does not necessitate that they're healthy or in good shape. They could eat, drink like crap, but maybe work out or have genetics that make them look a certain way. There's height, fat distribution, body types, all of those things come into play. But at the end of the day, for the majority of people, everything that you put in your mouth, water, liquid, or gas, is your decision. It's your choice. And how much you want to move, exercise, is also your choice and decision. That's kind of all I'm saying. No one's saying become a gym warrior and be in the gym like me, quietly, and Trent, the strong nigga trio all the goddamn time. Walk, stretch. Maybe be like, yo, every day I want to do at least 500 push-ups. So no matter what, by the end of the day, by the time you go to sleep, you would have to bang out 500 push-ups. I don't care if you do 5 every 10 minutes, a couple every hour, you do some on your lunch break, whatever. But you can do a lot of things to just keep yourself stretching. Stretching is very important. You don't have to become a gym warrior and count your macros or anything like that. But The problem with our society now is that we incentivize people to be lazy, be kind of in that victim mindset where everything in the world is wrong. It's wrong because you want to shame me for looking this way instead of being like, maybe I should take onus of what I'm eating, what I'm drinking, and move a little more so I'm in better physical condition and healthier for myself. Forget for the women's gaze or male's gaze or whatever other reason. Do it for yourself to be as healthy as you can be, because it's going to increase the likelihood of you living to a longer age. There is an obesity epidemic over here in the West, especially America. It's not okay. And you shouldn't encourage people to want to. It's okay to be like, hey, put it this way. Let's say I'm 5'8", 300 pounds. I'm a really nice dude, but I'm kind. I give back to my community or whatever. I'm like a great chef. I'm valuable to my company. I'm not useless. You shouldn't treat me like shit just because I'm overweight. You shouldn't be a dickhead to me because I'm overweight. But what you should never do is encourage me to stay overweight. That's always been my issue. Why not encourage them to be better? Even if it's 30 pounds, 20 pounds, it helps. And what I notice with a lot of people is when they start to get into that training grind and they physically see and or feel the results, they get addicted to it and then they really want to do better. I know people who are not athletic, or particularly people who trained for their whole lives, got into the gym, got into shape, and became personal trainers. I'm just saying. You want to be as healthy as you can be mentally, emotionally, physically, I guess financially, spiritually as well. I think they rules. There's an exception. Now they're giving away my life story. He was spitting. I gotta put in the Discord, but there's people saying you should ignore doctors. 6 steps unhealthy. That's nuts. Don't bully and insult people for being fat. Don't act like their health state is okay. The strong nigga trio. I can feel it, but yeah, it's tough sometimes because I understand that for any idea, there's a completely opposing school of thought and idea out there for it, right? I will not ever promote the body positivity movement myself personally. I'll always advocate for people being in the best shape they can be because I believe in you. Instead of me being like, I need to coddle you. You're a baby. You don't, you suck. The world around you sucks. You're perfect age just the way you are. I believe in people's ability to change and better themselves, and I rather go down that path than point the finger everywhere. I'm naturally a person who blames himself to a detriment. I kind of have like Smallville Clark Kent syndrome. I blame myself. Like, Mars can blow up and I'll somehow find a way to make it my fault. Like, if only I could have flown to Mars on time. Like, I'm weird like that. I think other people are the opposite. They point the finger externally before they look internally. I always look internally before I look externally. Not always, but for a very long time I've been like that. And I just think if more people kind of follow that kind of thought process a little bit, the world will improve by a small percentage, you know? As a previous fat man, I hate people who act like it's okay the most because you support my mistake. I won't be there for me. I have diabetes, can't run, can't wear what I want, and die young. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people who have held very strong beliefs, and because people never relented on on opposing what they thought that they should believe because it's dangerous, actually respect them along the end. There is one thing I've seen this in a couple of these. This is like an online thing, not people I know in real life, but apparently for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, but I guess a lot of women and men kind of sterilize themselves. Like, I'm gonna get my tubes tied or whatever, and like a lot of doctors, when you come to them with this and you're like 21, they'll tell you no. Like, yo, I don't know. You might actually want to have children someday or something like that. I'm not comfortable with, snipping or doing this or whatever. And in some cases, these things aren't reversible. And a lot of those people I've heard later on in life, when they have families or with their child, even if they're a single parent, they're like, I'm so happy that doctor didn't take away a biological functional ability I had for the rest of my life because I was a dumb kid. Even I, for a while, was like I would have considered myself like not. I was never crazy left, but I was left leaning at one point. I would have probably, if you asked me at 22, I would have probably told you I was a liberal, honestly. Then that changed over the years because I just saw how crazier and crazier and how the line keeps moving, and I'm like, I haven't really changed. I don't know. That's why you said I feel like it's our fault Boro appeared so much in this. yeah. I can't believe Boro's out here winning, bro. But maybe I'm a bad person, you know. I don't pretend to be the most virtuous. I don't go online for positive affirmation and people being like, "You're such a good dude and good person." I don't know if I'm a good person. I guess only God can judge me on that. If I go to heaven, if heaven's real, I don't know. I live my life right. If I burn in the eternal depths of hell or whatever, then I'll know I wasn't a good person. But I don't think I should be deemed as evil for having some of the thoughts that I have. I do like I don't really be called evil a lot. I get called like bigoted or something, which it doesn't mean anything to me at this point. It's nothing. But I have my beliefs for reasons, because I'll actually argue when I stopped being, I guess, a super lefty, if you will, my life started to get better. My life started to improve in the ways that are actually meaningful. I don't know. I could have just been taking my life more seriously. That could not be a correlation. I could be like conflating that, but I think adhering to just common sense and stuff and not what people are telling me I'm supposed to believe. Not that I was ever a person to really do that. Again, you can catch me slipping here and there. I'm human, but I just want the world to be better. I want people to make more sense. I want there to be less violence, less violent crimes. I want people to make more money. And I want more people. I want more families. That's something I could talk about. I think a political talking point that maybe conservatives speak about this a lot, but I think a big problem that we have also over here a little bit is the single parent boom. Our families are not together. Especially the black community is really bad. We're very splintered, but our families are not together. Single moms and dads, or just parents who are, you know, raising their kids separately. There's too much of that. The destruction of I don't know if the nuclear family is necessarily the right thing, but just having a sense of cohesiveness, family, and community, I think is very important. And I think societies, I don't know, because when I kind of want, no, that's not true. I don't know. I'll say it this way though. In a lot of the online talking spaces that I'm in, that I see, and when I look at legacy and established media, they tend to berate men a lot just for any and all reasons. I'll be very honest. I'm not a tribal like person. I don't feel any strong attachment to being a man or black, Canadian, whatever. I'm just not Hemmings. I'm kind of an individualist. That's kind of how I see myself. I actually have a tendency to detach myself from larger groups if I can. Like, oh, you're a One Piece fan. You're part of the One Piece fandom? Like, nah, I'm not. You're a gamer? Like, nah, I'm not. Like, obviously I am, all those things, but like, I disassociate. I don't care about being a part of the collective that way. I care about just being who I am. But I don't think most people are like that. Dad just left to get some milk and moms don't need no man. Exactly. Single family households are contributing to recent human descent degeneracy. Yeah, because some studies that I was seeing were saying that like there's like a manosphere talking point where it's like, I guess dads keep women off the stripper poles and keep sons out of jail. But that a lot of one common denominator you see with a lot of these men who are committing these atrocious acts is that they have no father or father figure in the home. And it's bad. And I think the media perpetuating like it's fine, take his sperm, have birth, you don't need him, he's just an ATM, is contributing to that. And I wish we had more unity. Left versus right-wing politics, men versus women, heterosexual versus the LGBT, black versus white. Just division, divide. And when you're angry, isolated, divided, it's easy to market things to you. They profit off of your misery and hatred. And I just wish more people can see that. It's not good. You don't want to be angry at men. You don't want to be angry at women. You want to be angry at the community. That doesn't help you. You want to find common ground with people you disagree with, especially, it's more important, in my opinion, if you disagree with the person. Find some commonality and common ground, or agree to disagree. I think that's so important. One thing that I think I'm able to do in real life is talk to somebody who doesn't agree with me and we walk away okay. It's harder online. But in real life, I think I come across a certain way because of my vernacular, my mannerisms, and how I present and say things. And I'm not a maniac, you know? So, yeah. The NYC vid thing. Nah, you still haven't played Honkai or Bloodborne. You're not a gamer? I'm not a gamer? Oh, good. I'm actually pretty okay with separate parents because if you have a toxic relationship, it'd be worse for children. Oh, no. I'm not saying if it doesn't work out and stuff. My point is people are out. I think people are out here right now recklessly having unprotected sex a lot, and it's leading to a lot of these situations. You know what? I'll speak about it in a second. Give me a sec. Very true. 2 parents are way better than 1. You are a much better advantage statistically if you're raised by both of your biological parents in a single parent home. Though, KG, I agree with you. If you have toxic parents and you're not together, you don't want your child to see that dysfunction. It's probably better to separate. I agree with that. When society directs people to being productive and work without time to live, that's one of the consequences that people live to work and work to live. Family is far from their minds. I suppose that makes sense. That makes sense to me. I hear what you're saying. Work is important. We gotta find a way to make money, but maybe there's a way to make it a little bit better and more powerful for people because inflation is going up and blah blah yada yada. But I only identify as a Sriracha writer. I agree that there isn't enough nuance, and that just because there's no data, I shouldn't be empathetic and kinda that are valid criticism shouldn't be shrugged off. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't have the answers, right? I'm not a politician. I haven't really studied this kind of stuff. I'm just a guy who obviously is affected by politics and the things that happen around them. And I would just like things to be a little bit better. Yeah, generally 2 parents are better than that. Does not mean 2 parents are always better due to various. Yeah, there's so many variables. But like, what was I gonna say? Okay, so I identify as alive. I saw an article that was I think by the Daily Mail that I think David Traits tagged me in this, and it was saying that vasectomies of young men are on the rise as a result of the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And all I could think to myself is, if this is an emotional knee-jerk overreaction to that, just because you think I got so many thoughts here, honestly. I don't know what direction to go in first, but I'm not doing that for anybody for any reason. Never. I'm spreading my seed, bro. I am not getting a vasectomy under any circumstance unless it was to like save my life. I heard that it's somewhat reversible. I've heard that like it can get, I guess the risk that it could get botched. You get messed up, and if it happens for too long, we never really snap back the way you're supposed to snap back, so to speak. But the reason that I would like, it's hard for me to say because at one point in my life, if a doctor said something to me, I just believe them. I'm at the point now I get a second opinion, and I see what a lot of these doctors are doing. Like I think Dr. Fauci is an evil man, personally speaking. I don't use evil very often. I think he's evil. But they were saying hormone blockers are irreversible. They're not. That I can confirm. They're not because I took them, sorry, but they're not reversible. Like the hormone blockers, puberty blockers that they were given to some kids who didn't know what gender they were going to be or blah, blah. Those things are not reversible. They were lying to you. Absolute cap. Straight to your face. So there's a part of me is like, is it reversible? Again, do what you want. It's your body. Do what you want to do. But to me, I think some of those men are being weasels. They're like, because I'm seeing I saw a couple of Tinder profiles. I don't know if it was Tinder or Hinge today on some website where it's like proof of vasectomy required to engage with me. And I'm like, don't live in that world. That's psychotic. Don't live there. Man, live in the regular world with real life and normal people who aren't hyperpolarized on the right, left, or whatever weird thoughts they have. I don't know. It's scary sometimes. Because if a lot of these guys are doing it because they believe like it's I don't know. Again, I feel like I keep take a shot every time I say I don't know. I don't know. Could never snip my shit. I can't blame people doing this effectively now. Like what? Abortion might be banned for no host on long. It's not. It's you don't think it's an overreaction? There is plenty of contraceptive methods you can use. Why not wear a condom? Wear a condom. IUDs. Birth control. A combination of all of those things. Abstaining. Truth be told, the pull-out method is supposed to be like 99 point something. Last time I checked, effective if you do it right. But then you're gonna put yourself at risk of STDs. I don't think people are out here having safe sex. You're not putting the sane armor on. I could not move that recklessly, in my opinion. I never moved that recklessly for the most part. So I wrapped my shit up. And I never got the itchy and scratchy show, but I just think it's a lack of discipline and like taking care of yourself. People are out here, see, like I truly believe that sex is something you can do just for recreation and fun. I do. There's nothing wrong with that, I don't think. But be reasonable. I long as you're both consenting adults who are old enough to do it. Be reasonable, but be safe. That's all. Why put yourself in the position of somebody getting pregnant? What if you want kids later on the line? You don't know how the vasectomy is going to affect you long term. I absolutely believe that seeing this can be an overreaction, especially if you live in somewhere like California. California is not going to ban that. It's a very democratic state, from my understanding. It's my problem, Randafool, isn't that people are doing it. I would argue that a lot of them haven't thought about this long term. It was a knee-jerk overreaction. If you think you're getting vasectomy is for you and you know everyone, the kids, blah blah, I am not the one to tell you that. You know your life better than I do. But I'd argue a lot of these young men are misguided, and I'll be very honest. I know a lot of men are controlled by their cocks. It's like, well, women won't stay with me if I'm going to vasectomy, so I better get one. I really believe a lot of them are thinking like that. I cannot say that for a fact. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just saying. It's an overreaction. Way more messing with birth control than getting your shit. Yep. All I can say is people out here acting like it's the end of the world. Like birth control and condoms are gone too. I don't get it. A 10-year-old girl was, while her uncle wasn't allowed to abort. It was like me, but like again. I said this earlier. If you've been assaulted, it's an incest situation, or the mother is at risk, totally okay. I kind of draw the line at using it as a contraception, but like that's not okay, Randafool. Like I don't agree with pro-lifers who say no matter what, keep it. I could understand looking at a kid every day and all it does is remind you of the horrible trauma that you had to go through. But I've also been told that I'm a man to keep my mouth shut. Is your body your choice? And truth be told, I'm okay with that, and I'll just sit this argument out. But if someone asks my opinion on what I believe, I'm not going to lie to you. I am pro-choice at the end of the day. I'm just not crazy about it. I don't believe in third trimester or bringing it to actual term and then thinking what to do it after. I'm not with all that. I'm safe, legal, and rare. Niggas not wearing armor, we hate to see it. With regards to birth control obscenities, only 100% birth control women is more vulnerable with regards to the consequences. I agree with that. Actually. I agree with that. You guys are more vulnerable in that sense. Men could kind of walk away or have to be an ATM, whatever the case is. But I also think that this should force men to think more. Like I had an epiphany once. The first time I had a pregnancy scare was kind of fabricated. Someone was trying to trap me in some nonsense. Long story. I'm not gonna go through it. Long time ago. This is like 8 years ago. Shit. Right? The first time I had one outside of a relationship. For anyone who doesn't know, I was single from 19 to 28. I got into a relationship in end of January, right? And I've had scares like that, but they were my girlfriend. And one thing about me is, as much as I was never ready, I was always willing to take responsibility, because if I pay to play, I gotta deal with the consequences of my actions. Even if I was like 20 and a father, I would never run from that responsibility. I'm going to be in my child's life. A lot of men are not me. They do not have discipline. They are not honorable, and they're just out here trying to get their notch count and clap as many cheeks as humanly possible and move on. I'm of the belief, at the very least, we should probably be a little better at selecting who we sleep with. After that scare, I started to kind of only sleep with people who I'm like, should something go south and you get pregnant and you're going to take our child to term, I can see you as being my baby mother, and we can co-parent amicably. Like we can do it with love and respect, even if we're not together. I think this will force a couple more people to think a little harder about the people they're choosing. Again, there's so many intersecting variables that you have to account for with this. But I've been seeing some people say, well, if this is going to happen, then men need to take responsibility. Yes, I agree. If he's sticking in there raw, he got to deal with it. He should be around. He should not be able to walk away. I'm totally okay with that. I need people to be more responsible and accountable for the things that they're doing. I'm okay with that. I'm not mad at it. I have very complicated feelings against this case being overturned. I don't know. In Canada, we don't have this issue. I'm Canadian. If you come here, you can get it. So it's like, for me, it's like hard to be like, I don't know, I'm not American. So maybe it's one of those things, because I don't have to deal with it as a Canadian, I'm not looking at it the same way. I also have very complicated thoughts on gun control, because I don't know anything about guns. The issue is the uncle who committed, regardless of having a vasectomy. I agree with you. If you knew your kid was going to have Downs, would you be cool with aborting or keeping it? I'd keep it. I'd always love my own kid, regardless of the men. Like, I've always said this. The thing that's the most important thing about me if I'm lucky enough and blessed enough to have children someday, is I want them to be as mentally and physically cognitive, no deficiencies. However, if I had a child with autism on the spectrum or something like that, I would love my kid regardless and do my absolute best to raise them to be the best possible person they can be, because it's my child. I wouldn't want to. I'm not into. To me, that's getting to eugenics, and I wouldn't do that. Because a lot of people I know who are on the spectrum or have some mental deficiencies or physical deficiencies are still happy that they're alive. You know what I'm saying? Not the issue. The girl's traumatized. She can't legally when non was to begin with. Not the case in her state was allowed. Well, I know some states it's already not allowed, and some of them had trigger laws where, like, if it was ever banned by the federal government. I mean, I'll throw a theory out there that I've been hearing, and you guys can tell me if you think it's part of the reason this happened. You tell me if it's true. I don't know this, because I don't really like to get into too much racial divide, but if my semen is in there, I have an opinion, especially if I'm paying for other I ain't taking. In Brazil, same thing happened. The law allowed the 11-year-old to get a pregnancy would put her life at risk. Bug the judge and prosecutor forbid the family to get in contact and kept talking to. Oh, that's crazy. Shit, now I just reviewed some info. Man, almost got played. Honor, damn it. There's things in 2022 is a rare quality. I agree with that. Accidents always happen, though. You would legally have to account for the things do not happen that should. This went on for a few weeks. The audio, that's crazy. That's sad. They absolutely shouldn't be more responsible. Murder. F. I'm sleepy. And what's with the mother? What's with the mother if they don't want to carry a taxing at best non-pregnancy bears a lot of risk? It's hard enough. People are born, but it's really even a risk. It's true. FYI, I'm a guy. I'm just making these comments because I talk to a lot of people that defend these points, and I came to understand the reasoning. Like, okay, that's fair. No, I mean, I have no problem with you believing what you believe. I'm not one of those people who's like, if you don't believe what I'm saying, you're a bad guy. That's not me. Live and let live. I'm a fan of people thinking independently and having their own thoughts, and actually always welcome people to challenge my way of thinking. I like having my belief system challenged, because I believe that's how you learn and you grow. The last time we did one of these, they're actually telling me a lot about the gender ideology stuff, because I never actually was into it or studied it, and I learned a lot. I'm appreciative of that. Whether or not I agree with it, the knowledge is good. I said I'm gonna talk about something. Okay. One of the prevailing theories I've been seeing for the case being overturned the way that it was is apparently based on some studies, because a lot of Hispanic families have a lot of kids and have children a lot. By the year of 2030, they would actually be the majority in America. I don't think it'd be like a major 60%, but there'd be more of them than white people. And some people believe that part of this was to force more white women to have to bring their child all the way to term, to keep them as the majority race in America. That is some things that I've seen. I've seen a couple of statistics that kind of go in line with that, but I believe that's circumstantial. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's a prevailing theory that I've seen and heard some people believe. I don't know where you guys fall on that, but yeah. That's a cool philosophy to have. I mean, end of the day, I think part of it is because I'm not arrogant. It's not to say I can't get overconfident in some of the things. Like I'm a very overconfident soccer player. If it's a video game I'm very good at, I'm a pompous asshole. Like I have things but like I know I am just one man on this earth. And one day I'll pass away, and everyone who's ever known me will pass away, and I'll be forgotten. History won't remember me. I'll just be one of the many quintillion people who lived on planet Earth. And that helps me keep perspective. I think perspective is very important. It's easy to kind of get caught up in the minutia of your own life and thinking you're greater and holier than thou and that you're righteous and you're the paragon of justice and everything virtuous. But then I remind, like as bad as like some things can get, right? I know how privileged I am. Just having full autonomy of mind and body is a privilege. I have no mental deficiencies. I have no physical deficiencies. My body works. My brain works normally. Privileged for that, right? I'm in a first world country. Privileged. I don't take these things for granted. I know as much as I wish I made more money and this now blah blah blah. I seen like there's one image in my head that lives rent free in my mind. Is the first time I saw like the mud cakes. And I just saw this really skinny woman flattening out mud, put like a little sugar on it, and was feeding mud to her kids. My life is not like that. I have perspective. I try my best never to lose that. It could be so much worse. And I want to be able to help those type of people someday if I have the funds and ability to do so. But I think some people don't have proper perspective. They were raised in a first world country with very little obstacles that they had to overcome and create issues, so they have like oppression. That's not me. Is my life perfect? No. Am I perfect? No. Do I wish some things were better? And like, do I think I deal with a lot of nonsense as a result of my skin color? Absolutely. But I still know how blessed I am, and I think that's important. There is likely a white factor in not only the Latino thing. It's in more than half the U.S. pure blood whites are dying and being born. Oh, true, because of more interracial couples. I personally believe that an unwarranted child should never be born in this world. If the parents don't want the child, they shouldn't raise a child out of love. Is way better than tolerating a kid due to duty. I mean, that's fair. I don't know if I agree with that, but that's fair. More so of this decision, I would say, is to motivate liberals to vote for Democrats in the midterms in November because Biden's approval rating has been plummeting. Did I see that Biden sent a bunch of America's like barreled oil reserve off to like other countries? Why did he do that? What's wrong with him? Mud cakes are wild. Some water country-ish. Okay, heard that too. From that, I heard someone who had lost a child, UI doubter, anyone thinks enough of that choice. It's common to lose pregnancies naturally. It's not that sacred. Besides, I don't think that in any cases, not thinking about it, they wouldn't do that out of a well-thought decision. Chief, we just got out of wanna or despair. Unwanted children shouldn't die just because that's not their fault. People had sex. I don't know why. Why does anything he does, bro? Well, I sometimes feel bad because I just think he's old. He's like losing his mind. His cognitive functions are not firing, and all snaps are not firing. He's just old. Like, I don't know. But Kamala, I can't stand. I think she's a moron. She'd literally be like, "We are the chat in the stream, and therefore we are the chat in the stream. And while the stream goes on, we are the like, what are you saying, woman? Like, she just be talking out her ass sometimes. Like, what is Kamala saying to me, bro? I be laughing, but Jesus Christ, she don't be saying nothing. Funny lady. Wasn't that oil thing because Europe would have sorted since they stopped buying from Russia? I actually don't know. I actually kind of said it like maybe 3 minutes before I started the stream. But my issue is America's having issues with oil and inflation and gas prices. Don't you guys need that just in case? Why would you give it away? But I'm not a believer of having to send all these resources to Ukraine personally. I don't believe in us fighting that war, but I don't know enough about it. But I know that there's people in America struggling to get things like baby formula. I believe every country should be their country first. I think it's very, 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 very noble of you to go help other countries and send stuff they need and resources. That's cool. We should all be kind of, together in some way. But I think America should be America first. Canada should be Canada first. Europe should be Europe first, whatever the case may be. I believe that. Don't make the people in your nation suffer to save other people. I don't think that's cool. I don't know though. I don't know what the answer is. I'm just a black man. I don't know what we need, but they're not it. He's just a senile old man who does whatever his time left wants. I always feel like he's like Pinocchio being puppeteered by people, cause like he'll say something wild and they'll tell you what he meant. I think they need to fix their own damn countries before getting involved elsewhere. That's fair. He just the senile. Oh, I just read that already. U.S. government is an old ass after they retired of 70. Yeah, you guys need someone like. I mean, can I speak about Ron DeSantis for a second? Ron DeSantis has been the most interesting political figure that I've seen been talked about in his last 2 months. Because if there's any person I've seen be hyper polarized, it's Ron DeSantis. People hate him. I saw Nikki Fried on the Patrick Bet-Davis podcast, and Jebediah was talking to her, and she was like, "How would you appeal to someone like me? I like Ron DeSantis," and she was like, "He's just blah 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 blah." Like some people love him, and people are going to Florida. Shit, I'm gonna be in Florida at the end of this month. Like people are going to Florida. I'm not staying there. I'm not living there, but like I don't. He's interesting to me. I think the Republicans should just stop with Trump altogether. I don't think Trump is the wave. I don't think he's it. I'm not Trump. I don't have Trump derangement, but I don't like Trump, and I don't think he has a temperament to be a political leader of the country. He's too much of a self-worshiping narcissist. I don't think he should be able to run the country again, personally speaking. I don't follow the January 6th stuff. I actually don't give a damn about it like that. Catcher Freeman, it's crazy. What's up? You out there freeing the slaves? Catcher Freeman, yes sir. Oh shit. Golden Knights, I have the same problem over here. I always feel like the candidates I have to choose from who have a reasonable chance of winning, it's just awful. They F shit up. Dutch farmers are protesting like crazy right now because the EU climate change politics are affecting them. Yeah, but I seen that. I spoke about that a little bit earlier. And they like fired at them too. It was crazy. It all global interest against Russia after Trump and Biden is. We need a Senator Armstrong or Funny Valentine to come through on some real presidents. Shit. Funny Valentine? As a guy from a third world country, I beg America not to come help us because that's code for destroying our history and stealing whatever we have that can make money. I can kind of agree with that. Ron DeSantis has been great, has been the best governor in the U.S. I think he endorsed conversion therapy hard. That's horrible. What do you like about Ron DeSantis? I guess you're talking about him, not me, because I don't know Ron DeSantis. I don't know. I just see polarizing opinions on him. But my understanding is for why people like Ron DeSantis a lot has to do with him fighting for freedoms, not doing the COVID lockdowns. And I personally believe, let's say I run a small convenience store. Lockdown happens. Oh no, bad. If I can't work and make money with my small store, even though you deem it non-essential and I can't support me and my family or pay my mortgage or whatever, you're effectively still killing me. I think he understood that. People call him Death Santis, but I don't know. The SCR promised to go down in flames. Did he? Last thing I saw, what's the last thing I saw about Trudeau that pissed me off? They're trying to pass some bill over here, see something. We're at the border. They can just be like, give me your computer or your phone. I'm going to check that because I think you're suspicious. Like, what the fuck? No, I can't stand Trudeau, bro. But no, what happened with him? I haven't looked at much Canadian news today. Maybe I'll take a gander. Trump. I should put Trump. I'm an idiot. Trudeau. Jesus Christ. We may feel like Justin Trudeau is like an unwanted house guest who's overstayed his welcome, must go, but I believe he did the right thing. Prime Minister accused of interfering in a criminal matter. Is it this? See, my mom threatened to kick me out if I didn't vote for Biden. Really? But how would you know? That's crazy. I didn't. I voted for the last election we had here was for the premier. Doug Ford won. I didn't vote for Doug, the Progressive Conservative Party, which doesn't mean anything to me. I voted for the Green Party because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I knew I don't know. But only 33 to 43% of Canadians even voted in that election, which is fucking crazy to me. No. You're in the UK. Oh, Boris. Okay, you're from UK. My bad. I'm sorry. Yes, I did see that. He resigned. We spoke about it earlier. He's stepping down. A lot of his people have resigned. It's like 59 people, something crazy like that. Yeah. So yeah. We talked about it earlier, which is crazy. As much as I'm not a fan of Ron, Florida jobs are mostly service, so having the ability to work with those times after being locked down was a positive for me. Fair. Americans need to vote as fuck for people who aren't career politicians. There have been a huge rise in regular people running these races. I think that's a good thing. I think the regular people who are more lock in step with the regular working class, because I think the working class and blue collar workers and people like that get overlooked a lot in these things. We tend to think about the elite and the poor a lot, and there's some middle ground that you have to care about those people too. I'm talking about people who make like 30 to 50K a year and work at like Amazon or McDonald's or something like that. They matter. They still got to be able to get gas, get to from work, support their family, buy food and things, pay rent, stuff like that. And I think that a lot of these politicians that we listen to are so disconnected from objective reality. They feed us nonsense. They tell you shit like, can't afford gas because it's like $5 a gallon? Get a Tesla. Do you know how fucked up that is? I don't want to fight somebody. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't like either party, nor ever will. It sucks because I don't want to waste a vote which my ancestors fought for. That's part of the reason why I vote too. I know that black people fought for our rights to vote, and I make sure I exercise it. It's hard. It's hard, man. It's difficult because a lot of the candidates we get to choose from are bozos. All of them. You're basically picking between bad and evil, and I'll take bad over evil. You know what I'm saying? Boris Johnson retired. Yeah. We retired. But if I don't believe in anybody, I don't think I should vote. I actually think I agree with that. But I don't know if America has it. I don't know if you know this. You can go to the voting poll and exercise your like non-vote, so it still gets counted. I think in the overall voting poll. But you went there and decided you didn't vote for anybody, and that would have still been you exercising your right to vote. I did not know that until pretty recently. If I could find an article on it or whatever, I'll try to send it to you. But I remember seeing that, and I'm like, that's interesting. Because I actually believe, I'm at the point now, if you don't know what's happening in your country and you're not paying attention to current news and politics, please don't vote. Please. Because your stupid ass, and ignorant ass, misinformed or disinformation ass affects me. If you don't know, don't vote. I'm actually at the point in my life I'm okay with that. Weirdly enough. Yes, Progressive Conservative Party. Look up Doug Ford. Yes, that's what it's called. I don't know what it means either. I never understood it either, but he won again. I like his brother Rob Ford. Rob Ford was my guy. He gave me 2 burgers once at Thompson Park. I was younger. He was like, we had like these tickets for like burgers. I had one. He was talking to Rob Ford used to come and talk to the people, like talk to us, like actually talk to the youth, you know? And he was like, you're a big guy, like you want the burger? And I was like, yeah. He gave me another burger. I said, "This is my homie, bro." I'll never rest in power to the realists. I'll never forget you, Rob, man. Those 2 burgers meant a lot to me. Alright, your brother's a fucking clown, though. You don't have a non-vote? Okay, so that's unfortunate then. He tried to promote a known predator, the chief whip or dark lord of secrets. Oof, that's crazy. Oh yes. I was reading that today. So basically, somebody who had a bunch of allegations got even more allegations too. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. Look into that and don't vote based on what people are actually telling you to vote for. Yeah, there's that too, Uncle John. Voting is useless because people don't understand politics and plans to lead the country. All about marketing yourself as a good guy. I'm actually kind of wary of people who only speak in good and bad guy. I think that's dangerous. Senior staff knows all the scandals. Oh, that's crazy. But anywho, world is crazy. Is there anything funny I can end us off with? We can end it on a high note. Anything meme worthy that I saw today? That's actually just funny. We can laugh at them, point our fingers. Boo this man. Boo, laugh at this person. Let me see. Go to my annoying ass Twitter. He used to introduce himself to young parliament men by cupping their. Hey, yo. What is going on with that man? That's wild. I thought I saw something. Okay, this is. I'm gonna post this because I think this is kind of funny. Not post this. I'll put this on screen. I think it's kind of funny. I won't lie to you. Oh God, it's one of those days where I'm like the internet won today. They did a thing that I liked. It does relate back to the Griner issue. But it was just some of the comments and the replies for for this. I thought it was kind of funny. Oh, did not mean to move that. What did I just move? I moved the background image. I don't know what I moved. I'll fix it after. See if I can find it. Yeah, they said so. So someone said that if it was LeBron James, he'd be home, and someone posted this like, if Russia had Braun, niggas would came into Moscow like this, and it was like a Transformers. He going crazy over there, going crazy. You know what? This is like an actual film. Let me not keep that up there before I get copyrighted. But yeah, kind of funny. It's mad. That's crazy though. Which trans age to the issue with the GOP at the national state level that they campaign on conservative values, but once they're in office, they either backstab or don't do anything. A select few conservative politicians that actually care. Yeah, I saw somebody on Timcast say they would actually say to impeach Biden and would do the hard work. Apparently, Republicans can come in and just not do nothing when they have power. I don't know. That's a prevailing argument I've heard even from people on the right. I've been to Russia. They don't play. It was just dumb taking cannabis oil in there. If LeBron would have not been that dumb, if LeBron would not be that dumb, of course. LeBron got captured. I'd free him before freeing my country. you gotta be stopped. I thought that was funny. Did I see something else about? Oh, let's see if I can find this. This is hilarious to me. We'll talk about some stupid, the dating stuff. Let's see if I can find this. I think a Breezy Bird had tagged me in it. And someone put like a wheel, like almost like a wheel of fortune of like the very annoying talking points that we tend to have in the black community. I found it. It was so funny to me. Okay. This is it, right? Yes. Right here. Okay. So you see Wheel of Black Twitter? So she said 30 bodies is not a lot. Stop it. And it's like Wheel of Black Twitter. Height, weight, elite, clutch, LeBron, edges, thick or fat, full outrage. HBCU slender, historically black colleges, university slender, marriage material, interracial dating, body count, salary, minimum wage, Beyonce, feminism, single mother. The only thing they forgot was splitting a bill 50-50, bro. I seen that over here and I started a lot. What did that guy say? I think he said... All he was saying is, yeah, I actually howled because I'm like, this is honestly how stupid that like we tend to be over here and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys know who Andrew Tate is. I thought this was hilarious.
On OnlyFans.
I don't think there's anything.
Andrew Tate is fucking hilarious sometimes. I disagree with a lot of what he says, but he's funny.
What would you do if I wanted to start an OnlyFans?
I don't think there's anything intrinsically wrong with women doing OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. As long as I had influence and control over it.
What do you mean? Doing a video photographer and get the angles, yeah?
No. I'm not doing any real work, but just like taking all the money. If my chick said, I want to do OnlyFans, I'm like, all right, then cool, go do it. How much you made? 10 grand. All right, give me 8. All right, cool. All right.
What woman is going to give you 8 grand?
You're my woman, you're doing OnlyFans. You're selling my product. What the fuck?
Your product?
Yes,
She's
correct.
not
Next question.
No. I don't know if you're being serious.
I'm totally serious. How would I let my chick do OnlyFans and keep all the money? That's disrespectful.
What woman is ever going to give you that?
Then she better not do OnlyFans.
I'm sorry. I thought that was funny. I laughed at that. I'm not gonna lie to you. My sense of humor is very twisted though. I don't know if I, but I just laughed at that. That was just so funny to me. But oh my god. Respect the rules, not your land. Facts. And even in her land is similar-ish. I know Andrew Tate, he's comedy, but he be out of pocket sometimes. On God, he do be. Him and like understand that like end of the day, I'm a man, so I understand a lot of things they're talking about. I don't necessarily think it's right or wrong or whatever. It just is what it is. But I be lock and step with them to a certain point. I have to get off the train like, oh, now you've gone too far. But obviously, I don't want my girl doing OnlyFans, like whatever. But next time I do one of these, I'll try to keep it a little more lighthearted. Maybe we'll talk about some of the crazy stuff that's happening in dating and everything and all those things. But tomorrow I'll be going through the Tower of God questions that I asked about the princesses of jihad. All right, good night, brother. Good night. Take care, man. Princess of jihad, and go through the comments. So I'll be tomorrow's stream. So thank you guys for coming. And that girl contradicts all interviews. She said she wants traditions, but she wants but I'm a big believer of watch what people do. Don't listen to what they say. I watch actions. I don't really care about words like that because people just be capping and talking out their ass. And I'll be very honest. I take that doubly seriously with women. So, anyways, let's have an Andrew Tate clip screen one day. Well, we could do like a Manosphere one. I'll even put on like Myron and those guys because they're sometimes they're bad shit. But I be laughing though. But y'all be safe. I'm gonna head out. I'm tired. I got some more editing to do, and the work never stops. But thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully, I didn't upset anybody or upset too many of you. I'm just one man. It's my opinions. You don't have to agree with me or my way of life and perspective. I'm just me. Y'all be safe.